The ClevelandMoto podcast is brought to you by Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0.
All right, Cleveland Moto podcast number 336. Yes, the divisible of the beast or something. There we have it. The big news around the podcast table just now. The reason I got in late, you guys are all here before me, which is fucking cool. Breaking news. We had a customer this morning on his way into the shop bringing his Vespa in with a. He was bringing it in for service. I'm not going to make any assumptions. I'm just going to say he was bringing it in for service. And about 11 o'clock, right when we're opening the door, his wife showed up, and it's raining fucking cats and kittens out there. And the wife shows up, and she is disturbed. I mean, she's upset. My husband just blew a tire on the side. He's on the side of the road in Olmsted Falls, and he's there. And I was like, well, he's there. You're not there. So you came forward to let us know that he'd blown the tire. You don't. These things work great. I mean,
it's cell phones.
This could have been, this is one of those cell phone. This is one of those perfect opportunities to call somewhere and be like, yeah, we broke down on the side of the road, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can you make arrangements, have somebody come and pick it up or whatever? But but she showed up in person, God bless her soul, instead of staying with her husband, who was probably, well, you know what? I've been in that mood before where I've had a blown tire and I've been like, you know what? There's one too many people here right now. One of us should leave.
Towing.
Done that. Yeah, that's totally true.
Towing is only $4 a year on your policy.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't you have it?
And this is what we're going to talk. God, that wild turkey's good tonight. I don't know why that wild turkey's so good. It's really good. And that's nothing great. That's just the standard stuff. But yeah. So step one, you're right. You should have towing on your insurance. If you don't know if your insurance has towing, make a phone call.
It's usually like $8. Like, it's stupid how cheap it is.
Are they set up for a bike? Because I mean, usually towing is for cars. They're not going to.
They
bring a flatbed. They just put it on their flatbed and they put it all the way forward.
If your policy is for a motorcycle policy, they understand that it.
Okay. And that's true. And
Steve, they just pick it up with the winch.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second because we actually had that happen this week. So yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to tell you the importance of clarifying things to tow truck operators. And we took a picture of it, and it was pretty sad. So,
and we spent hours setting up this podcast for you folks tonight. So just pay attention, take notes.
This doesn't set itself up. Apparently, it does though.
No.
So anyway, so she came in. He wasn't there. He was back with the bike. So I said, "Look, we're very busy, but here's what I'll do: is at the end of my day, I'll go back and I'll pick the bike up. I'll go to where he abandoned it. I'll take the truck. I'll go get it." We'll pick the bike up. We'll bring it in. We'll change your tire, whatever. Okay. Wow, that's great. Thank you. Super cool. So off she fucked. And I assume she went back and picked him up.
Right.
And they went home.
As a normal couple would.
And then they called and I said, when you get home, call me and give me the address where I can find the bike and give me the location where I can find the key and I'll pick it up.
And meaning, like, that was kind of a hint, like, don't leave the key in the bike.
That's a pretty good hint. I'd say that if somebody tells you, give me the address where I can find the bike
and then the key location where I can find the key. Underneath the third dumpster to the left, something like that.
Perfect.
Right.
So I got they called and they gave me the address and I got the address and I went there tonight. And this was supposed to be like 30 minutes out, pick up the bike 30 minutes back. No big deal.
Sure.
I got out there and first of all, the address they wrote down doesn't exist. So I can chalk that up to being like, oh, I'm excited. My tire just blew, whatever. But you had a long time to sit and wait for your wife to come up here and then come back and get your ass.
Right.
It was probably raining.
Right.
You had a lot of time to assess your situation. Well, he got the address wrong, but I drove down 20 houses in each direction. No Vespa. And I asked people, no Vespa. And I called him and he eventually called me back and he says, yeah, I can describe the house. And he did. Awesome. He described the house. And I can describe the trash cans.
It had a door, some windows, and a roof.
No, he nailed it. Like, he nailed the description of the house, including the adjacent power lines and the horse, paddock or whatever. Like, he nailed it. He described it perfectly. But again, he also described he parked it right next to the 3 trash barrels that were out next to the curb. If you live like I live, anything that's next to the curb is fair game. Anything that's next to 3 trash barrels by the curb, which means it's fucking trash day.
Right.
Those barrels wouldn't be there if it wasn't fucking trash day. And if it's not trash day, those barrels signify that it's trash day, and anything within a 40-meter radius of those barrels is automatically scrappable.
No, I think that the keys weren't like
in it
on the bike.
Oh, no, he did say that he left the keys in the ignition.
Oh, that's good.
So
and it was running. It was running. It was a bad tire.
Yeah, it blew a tire.
So like you could just walk up and start it.
Yeah,
and not even have to push
and drive it away on a flat tire
and just kind of bump along.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he left it running.
With a full tank of gas.
How will I know? How will I know where it is? It's got the headlight on. You can't miss it.
It has a 6-pack on the back. Always.
Yeah, exactly.
And a sign that says, "Thank you for not stealing my scooter."
That's right. Thank you for not shoplifting. Not kidding. He did leave it next to 3 rubbish barrels, recycling barrels. So, okay, guys, do we really need to have this talk? Is this something Cleveland Moto needs to fucking say?
Don't.
Okay. 1, if you ride motorcycles, call your insurance company and put towing on your fucking motorcycle insurance. Mm-hmm. If you don't have motorcycle insurance because you're that guy, call the American Motorcyclists Association and get the gold level package that has free towing. I'll tell you what it is. It's the regular package with the automatic renewal.
Right.
So if you give them your credit card number and you agree to give them a pint of your blood every fucking year at the AMA, they will send a truck to pick your dumbass up and your dumbass motorcycle with the understanding that they know it's a motorcycle because it's in their fucking name. Right? So join the American Motorcyclists Association, you dipshits, right? And use a credit card and set it up for auto renew. So you get kind of one of the greatest benefits of being an AMA member is the towing. Right? Now, I'm going to clue you into something that's awesome, and you don't have to be gay.
Doesn't hurt.
But it doesn't hurt.
Right.
You can join the Vespa Club of America. Vespa Club of America has we don't care about your religious denomination or what kind of bike you ride. Mm-hmm. You can join, and it's $39 a year or $29 if you can convince a dipshit like me, a dealer who's a affiliated shop. For $29, I believe it is, I can get you signed up for a whole year of Vespa Club of America membership.
Who's the mathematician that can break 29 down by 12?
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it ain't much.
No.
Yeah, it ain't much. It ain't much at all. It's about 2.25.
Yeah.
2.25. So like some of that high octane rolling rock, you could have membership in a company that picks up your fucking bike.
One less White Claw a month.
One less White Claw per month. And then you don't have to leave your scooter with a dead tire. Now here's a trick. Now here's a trick. I have had several various different memberships, and I've experienced the untimely loss of forward velocity on a 2-wheeled vehicle.
Happens.
And I've had to go through my wallet going, oh shit, which one of these did I pay this year? And like I'll just whittle through. I'll be like, okay, well, I'll call my insurance company last because I don't want them to raise my rates. Right. So I'll go through and I'll be like, okay, let me try AMA. Oh, expired 7 months ago. Well, that's not going to help me. Yeah. And then I'll go through the list of suspects. But the point is, at any given time in my wallet, I've got like 4 people that will tow my shit. Mm-hmm. If you're that cheap, $29, call your local scooter shop. They'll set you up with a Vespa Club of America. And then you'll have a great story for your friends when the Vespa Club of America tows your Harley. Yes, it'll be a pink tow truck, but I think we'll all get over it, You'll be fine. So now, speaking to that whole, let people know it's a fucking tow truck or a scooter thing or a motorcycle thing. If you have AAA in your wallet right now, if you've got AAA and you have a 2-wheeled vehicle, that means fuck all. That's useless. Right. You call them and go, I've got AAA. That's cool. I paid my money. That's great. I've got a thing on my wallet that says AAA. Call them up. What do we got to tow? A Buick LeSabre, no problem. That just hit a Vespa. We can tow the LeSabre, we can't tow the Vespa. Why not? Because you don't have AAA recreational vehicle coverage. You say, but I do have AAA plus. Doesn't mean shit.
Really?
You actually need to have the AAA that has the recreational vehicle coverage. Because AAA plus, AAA gold, AAA premium, none of that seals the deal like AAA recreational vehicle. Recreational vehicle means boat, thing the boat was riding on, RV, thing the RV was riding on, thing that was being pulled behind the RV, thing that was being pulled behind the thing that was being pulled behind the RV. All of it's covered. They're going to tow it all. They'll send the biggest truck you've ever seen to rescue your dumb ass. That's if you get AAA RV. But premium or plus, that don't get you motorcycle towing. Read the policy. Oh, your own insurance policy. Fucking just read that. I got 2 credit cards in my wallet. Both of the credit cards in my wallet give me free towing.
Wow.
Yeah, and a hotel to stay in if my car breaks down. Just part of having a Discover card. I bet you didn't know.
No.
But it won't tow a motorcycle. Stingy sons of bitches. Do you know how much smaller a motorcycle is than a car?
Now, how do they define motorcycle? Like, if you had 2 small training wheels, you could slap on the back and it has 4.
Now, this goes to my next story. So out here in the parking lot here, we see some strange things.
We'll call this segment Out in the Parking Lot.
Out in the parking lot. Right, out in the parking lot. To my left, by the way.
Oscar?
To his left.
Darren Kromke,
Steve Hoffert. Johnny Mac.
Chris Smith.
Steve Sleepy.
And your humble narrator, Phil Waters. And by the way, good job showing up, guys. Well fucking done. For people who don't know, Steve just started a brand new job. That's why he's looking business casual.
I'm corporate C now.
Corporate C. Corporate. I love that. Sleepy C? No, corporate C. Exactly. And the beard's tightened up and very groomed. The hair's all groomed.
I know, it's embarrassing.
Ah, dude, you work with flowers now.
But I saw a guy wearing a hat today in the offices so I can ride a motorcycle to work.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, fuck, what do I do?
Wait, hold on, stop. You saw a guy wearing a hat.
Yeah.
In the office.
Yeah.
So you can ride a motorcycle to work.
Well, yeah, because otherwise I'd have to take a blow dryer and slime and all this shit. Because if I put a helmet on, it's going to fuck all this up, and then it'll be just a mess.
All this up?
All that? All that? Honestly, I've seen dudes with a handful of 1040 and a fucking ace comb achieve that level of greatness.
Just water your hair and that's about it. Just
water your hair.
Yeah, but I'd rather just wear a hat. I'd rather just wear a hat. Hey, the Rockabilly Ruckus is coming up. I got to look the part.
I saw a guy wearing a hat, so I can ride a motorcycle.
Yeah. And I told my boss because she asked what I'm interested in. And I'm like, well, I have a motorcycle fetish. And she was like, interesting. Tell me more.
So you actually have sex with motorcycles. That's interesting. I thought they only did that in Santa Cruz.
No.
Yeah.
Are you packing a kickstand up your ass?
Exactly. Yeah. I have a motorcycle fetish. Tell me more. Well, hold on. What part would you like me to produce?
Right.
So we have customers who bring things by. Allegedly. Sometimes customers can't get their bike here. But this has always shocked me is the people that, for whatever reason, their bike's not running, we go pick it up. So we have a service. I'll show up in your driveway and I'll pick your bike up.
Right.
And so you pay me a given amount of money. I show up in your driveway and I pick the bike up and take it away. So that's cool. So I pick the bike up, take it away. And then when the bike's done, we call you. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're calling you, it's because your motorcycle has become a motorcycle again. It's no longer yard art. It's no longer some shit you hang on the wall at Fridays. If we call you, it's because that shit runs.
Gotta pick it up.
Yeah, right. Guess what? It's a bike again.
Take a bus, whatever you need to do, you can ride it home.
Whatever.
Right. Yep.
I checked. I test rode it. It's a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. It's totally fucking drivable.
Right.
Now, for people who don't live in Cleveland, I should let people know that anywhere in the greater Cleveland area, you can ride to on a 50cc scooter.
Right.
Now, that holds true for cities like, every city in the fucking world, okay? Because the whole concept of cities is that they put roads.
Right.
And if you have a 50cc scooter, you can navigate LA. Mm-hmm. And if you have a 50cc scooter, NYC. No problem.
Probably better than most cars because they're blocked in traffic.
Right. But what I hear about 7 times a week, that's way too far. What? That's way too far. Chris, how far did you drive your Janus?
When I picked it up, brought it back 230 miles.
In one sitting?
Yeah.
Okay.
From Indiana to
A
Cleveland.
250cc intentionally backward motorcycle. Like it's a rigid. It's a hardtail vintage 1920s style motorcycle. And you rode it how many miles?
230.
230 miles. I got people that won't drive from Shaker Heights.
And I'll say that I haven't been that rigid in months.
It was totally rigid. Yeah.
Did you happen to see the last podcast? It said Smith rode 4,500 miles in a few days. Did his Janus survive?
Shaker Heights is maybe 23 miles from here.
He blew out his Janus.
Just the
That's the
Boone.
best you can come up with?
Just the Boona and seal. That's it. It's very chill. But yeah, so Shaker Heights, Gates Mills, all the wealthiest parts of Cleveland.
Yeah, it's right down the street from me.
Yes.
I live in the poor section. They live in the backslash. Yeah.
Right. As you go deeper into the valley,
Yeah.
as your house gets to be more like a David Winter cottage next to a little rambling creek,
Right.
but they won't come and pick their bike up. But so what do
I can take the park all the way here.
It's beautiful. We do that shit for fun, people. And we do that, and I will do that happily on a 50 or a 125 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't need to use the freeway to get to your house in, outer
Actually,
Slobovia.
it's the best because it's the only time you get to be full throttle in the park and
Also
not worry
true,
about
right.
going to jail.
Yeah, we have a Metro Park system that actually connects everywhere you'd want to live on the west side with everywhere you'd want to live on the east side,
Right.
in the form of a emerald necklace.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I pick you up, or can I have you follow me to the shop and back
Yeah.
for $50, please?
So, yes. So, here's the game. Customer
Private sag wagon.
that shall be remain nameless, because I have done the math on all these Uber trips, by the way.
Right.
So I'm really good at telling customers, well, you know what you can do is you can take an Uber here for $19.20,
Right.
and then jump on the bike that runs and ride it home
For $1.
for free. Right? Exactly. You're right. Most of these bikes get a lot of miles per gallon.
I think
Exactly.
Uber lets you bring a helmet with you too.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. You could bring 3 friends. Right.
That's Uber recreational.
But you get to wear it in the Uber.
Which with some drivers might be a plus.
Fucking love it. I have a feeling this will end badly.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, you put it on and you rock here and you go home, $19.20. So this person calls me after, and I make this sound like this is happening. This is one thing. This is 9 times a week. But this particular customer says, can you bring my bike back? Sure, I can. Great. When? Monday. I do all my pickups and deliveries on Mondays. It's kind of my thing. It's what I do. If you're on my Facebook, you know all about it. Right? Okay. Oh, I can't have the bike on Monday. Well, why not? Because this weekend. What do you mean because this weekend? Well, because this fucking weekend. Well, fuck you. Monday's when I do my deliveries. But I need the bike by this weekend. This bike was unridden for at least 3 years. You got it in here 2 weeks ago. We went through the whole thing, changed everything, fixed everything, replaced the fuel tap, replaced 20 feet of bad fucking fuel line. Your bike has 211 miles on it, and it's 9 years old. What do you mean you need it by this weekend? We didn't know you needed it by this weekend when we picked it up 2 weeks ago. You didn't know you needed it by this weekend. Let's be honest with you. I need it by this weekend. Well, I can deliver it on Monday for $90. That won't do. So, okay, fair enough. So the next day, Friday, one of these, standard fucking run-of-the-mill tow truck shows up. And when I say standard run-of-the-mill tow truck, you know what I'm talking about. It's a truck, and on the back it's got a set of forks. And the forks, pick up the front wheels of a car, and then the car disappears, right? It's not Andy Mayberry with the big fucking trellis thing in the back holding cables and various different swaps and gradles and all kinds of crap and cables upright. It's just a fucking tow truck, right? This guy shows up on Friday, says, I'm here to pick up What's Her Nuts' scooter. I'm like, all right, that's it. This should be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've tied everything to everything.
So at this point, your legality is like once it's out the door, it's not your fucking concern, right?
I've never been happier, and I'm about to get a whole lot happier. So I walk up to the
video
guy.
Came out and shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I looked at the truck and I went, "There's no ramp anywhere on that truck."
Right.
Despite the word truck, there's no bed anywhere on that truck. There's just various hydraulic things. But there's them forks that go out the back that hook up the wheels of the car.
Right.
So this guy's
That'll work.
Oh, this guy's a genius. So there's a vertical shaft coming off the back of the truck that holds the forks, right?
Like shafts.
Shaft.
Yeah.
And he opens the forks all the way up like they'd be taking on the incoming tires.
Right.
And he takes those forks and he uses those as an impromptu ramp for the back tire. Yeah, that's not right. And then he takes the front tire of the bike and uses that arm and he puts that on there. Still not right. Mm-hmm. And then there's nowhere to tie the front of the bike to and nowhere to tie the back of the bike to.
It's just sitting there.
Now, my friends who are engineers or geometric mathematicians will tell you about my love of triangles. I love triangles. There's nothing you can't do with a goddamn triangle.
My favorite things usually end at the bottom of a triangle.
That's also true. Yes,
Right.
exactly right. All the best things have to do with triangles.
Right.
Yep. Doesn't matter the angle. A triangle's the angle for your dangle.
That's right.
Brought to you by Angles. Try.
And
There's better when
Manscaped.
there's three of them.
4.0.
4.0. We'll get to that. And they don't make a monopod that you want to lean on.
No.
No, they make a tripod, right? Milking stools that have only one pole.
That's a different kind of
That's
stool.
a different kind of milking.
That's a pushing in your stool.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, this guy goes out there and through a fucking system of, levers and pulleys and nuts and berries and all kinds of shit.
It almost seems like he's done this before.
No, he's tried.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one of those guys that's like, well, I have a truck and I have a tow truck and I have a client and I have a strap, so we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
And his straps are the big 4-inch wide fuckers that
Oh,
18-wheeler guys use to tie
yellow
down
ones.
big yellow ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Braking strength is rated for one Vespa.
Yeah. 3,500 pounds.
Or one Vespa.
Or one.
Yeah. And because that's what it does. So as I see him hopelessly trying to tie this thing in.
Yeah.
And this is literally like the worst bondage sex act you've ever seen in broad daylight. Like you walked into the room, you opened the door, you walked into the room and went, okay, not only is this disgusting, but you're doing it wrong. I'm going to fix your whole situation. We need more duct tape. So I went out there and I just said, hey, if I ever want to call you guys to fuck my world up the way you're fucking her world up, what do you charge for that? He said $70 to hook up and $2.50 per loaded mile.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to let that sink in.
You just redid your rates.
Yeah. My whole world has changed. Has anybody ever dealt with a plumber that charges you like $100 an hour? That was probably
pipe?
20 years ago, right? Right. To lay pipe. But plumbers also charge you a fee to show up. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's the only business I can think of. They can't work on your plumbing from their shop.
Right.
So the fact they're showing up is kind of a given.
Right.
Are you guys with me on that?
Same with AC guys.
Also,
HVAC.
they need to be there to do the job.
Yep.
Yet they'll charge you $70 or $100 to be there.
Service. It's the base service
call.
Service call. Yeah.
Service call. Can you do my job without making a service call? No. So the fact he charges you $70 to hook it up, what have I been doing wrong? I've been giving the hookup for free forever. And I charge $90 one way within the city limits of Cleveland.
Right.
I mathed it out. This little journey was going to cost her $225. Because she didn't want it on Monday. She wanted it now.
So maybe I should rethink my job and maybe I could just be a professional ride the bike to somebody person.
Oh, and Uber back.
And Uber, yeah.
And you don't have to even know tie-down straps.
No.
You can just ride a bunch of different motorcycles.
Yep.
That's brilliant. I will put you on retainer now.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. You know what? We normally charge $90 to deliver your bike, but we got this guy.
Yep.
And for $65, he'll ride your bike to your house. No risk of damaging it, putting it in a
it
truck.
would be $65 to put my ass on your bike.
Okay, that's the show-up charge. Right?
And then 25 cents a mile.
Right.
And then the Uber cost to get me back to wherever I want to go.
Right. Sure.
Still be a lot cheaper than what she paid.
Yeah, man.
Now, that story would be good if it ended there. But when he got done with the first
mummifying
six straps, by the way, 6 fucking straps. And then his only 2 straps that were doing any work at all, he didn't use the handlebars and make triangles down to the frame of the truck, which would have been easy. He just went with one big heavy strap right across the street right across the seat. So there's no triangles. There wasn't a single goddamn triangle.
And the seat has no, like...
All he did was squish the suspension.
Yeah, and there's nothing holding anything.
Anyone like to guess how far he made it?
6 feet.
1 turn. Literally the turn out of my driveway. So the turn out of my driveway has an apron.
And what bike was this?
This was the Vespa 150. Yeah, Vespa 150.
So lots of metal.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
You should have put it on the running board and used one strap to hold it to the doorknob. And it would have been better than what he did.
Could have paid a crackhead to ride it there, or Steve, and then just split the money, right? Exactly.
Could have paid you.
For as much money as he got paid, he could have paid me to do it. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I would have done it.
Or
but
just
he
wait
didn't.
until Monday.
So he made it. Yeah, exactly. He made it exactly 19 feet. Kadunk. When you make a turn, the weight of the bike goes left and right.
But now, is that on the driver's insurance, or is the guy fucked?
I hope it's on everybody's. I mean, hey, Steve, the only important thing is
Not on
it's
yours.
Not mine.
Right.
Right. Because when I charged the guy $90, it made it here tip top.
Right.
Because I got an F-150 truck and a beautifully custom welded ramp.
And from what I've heard, you've maybe moved a few bikes in your day.
A little. Yeah, once or twice.
So did he at least lift it? Not that it was a good thing, but
he
lifted
did.
so
He lifted the forks
so it
up.
dangled like after...
Until he tried to leave here, it looked beautiful.
Sorta, yeah.
It looked like he was trying to show off a red Vespa. But knowing math, I mean, I don't know math,
right?
But I know what works. And knowing what works, I know that there were no triangles.
Right.
And if you don't have any triangles, you're fucked.
Yep.
You're hooped. And so as soon as he made the right-hand turn, the bike kind of went, the bike like jogged to the left, but then when the other wheel came down into the low part of the apron, then the bike hard centered to the right. So it kind of went tilt, trebuchet. And it did. It hit the ground with an explosive force.
Oh, man.
So then
Ground.
the pavement, the concrete, it came off.
It left the
street
forks and
or the-
everything.
It left the whole game.
Oh, wow.
Because the one strap that was holding it on that way did nothing to keep it once it started falling.
Right.
And the bike just slid off the
All the
forks.
tension was on the seat.
All the
As
tension
soon
was
as
on the seat.
left.
The wheels, you know, there's one thing in the world dirtier than a pickup truck. My mind when I was 17 years old. Pickup trucks are greasy.
Yeah.
There's nothing clean on a pickup truck. Everything's greasy. And if you're a pickup truck in Saltland, like we are, everything's super greasy.
Right.
He put the tires to the scooter on the greasy-ass beam of the tow truck.
Oh, yeah.
It is not approved. No way.
And he didn't loop anything through the wheel and tire to hold it.
Negatory, good buddy. Oh my God. He got everything he was asking for. So at this point, they're within visual range of my shop. Mm-hmm. I caught it on camera, right? And so I'm like, okay, this guy's going to pick this bike up. He's going to bring the bike back in here, and we're going to have, $1,800 worth of body work.
Right.
No.
Kept going?
He went out there, re-rigged it, and off he fucked.
Good.
We have not heard from the customer yet.
Yeah, one less of a problem for you at that point.
Again, cautionary tale.
Right.
Right? So, again, there's no story that's worth telling if you don't learn something from it. What did we learn? Triangles. I'll shoot a video on how to tie a fucking bike into the back of a pickup truck or on the back of anything or whatever the fuck you want. It's going to involve triangles.
One of the things I learned, especially with heavier bikes, no matter how many, like, the side straps, 1 or 2 are fine, but you got to keep that front wheel tied to something.
Yes.
That's the important part.
If the front wheel starts vertical, like perfectly in 90-degree angle to the front of the truck.
Right.
If it starts that way, it has to stay that way.
And you got to secure
So
it
you either
somehow.
got to have it start that way or be at left steering lock.
Right.
Or right steering lock. So it can't go any other way.
Right.
But if you start it that way and you're just like, it'll stay. It won't stay. Something will happen and it will cock. And when it cocks,
All
that
your
strap
shit.
gets tighter, that strap gets looser. And then the next time you hit a bump, whoosh, it does the left hard right.
Right.
Or the right hard left. In any case, you'll see it going the first part when it goes But when it goes and fades to the right, that just lets the strap on the right side.
Yep.
Because you probably only put the hook through like something stupid like the hole in the truck or whatever. Well, when the tension goes off, that hook becomes unloaded, invariably it falls out of the hole.
Right.
And then when it goes the other way, with much authority, and it makes that sound. It goes snap, and or cut chunk, and then like parts of the bike fall off, mirrors go everywhere, and whatever.
So after you made the mistake of buying Harbor Freight tie downs, you have nothing to do with them. I am. Everybody is. Most people are.
Right.
They do okay.
I'm not.
Okay, well you are a professional, but they do.
I use clothesline.
They're still okay. So like on my little 5x7 trailer,
Right.
It has a center bar in the front. I don't have a wheel chock.
Right.
But I put the front wheel there and I use the
And you
Harbor Freight
strap
ones
that
and I
shit.
do it about 5 times and ratchet down.
Yeah.
And then I use my good straps.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That fucker never moves ever.
You can take your underwear off.
You can always the fucking sound engineer.
Always this guy. Always this guy.
Fucking corporate Steve
You can take
Corporate.
corporate Steve.
fucks it up again.
Anything you want. Take your underwear off and tie them around the front tire so that the front wheel can't go left or right.
Right.
And then if you've got 2 straps or 1 really long strap, I can show you how to do that. You're fine. You're okay. Take the 1 really long strap, go to the right corner of the truck, go up around the handlebars, lean the bike to the right like a little bit, go around the strap, go the other way, go around the other handlebars, go down to the other corner, ratchety, ratchety, ratchety. The bike will stand up. You're done. Go.
Yep.
I'm
Go
just,
do the
I've
Baja
never ever
1000.
used.
I'm just thinking about this though. That I mean, for $20,
Yeah.
I could make some sort of a little adapter that you could have put on there. That's
Yeah.
a wheel chock.
Yeah.
That you could have rolled the bike up. That would have
Yeah.
held the front thing.
Yeah.
And you run 2 straps down to the arms, and go lift the bike up, and it would have been fine and you could keep it behind the seat of your fucking truck.
I would weld it to the fucking arm. I would weld a condor to the fucking arm of that lift on that thing, and I'm your fucking bike. Like, I'm your bike bitch, dude.
Yep.
Like, I'd weld a condor to that thing for $150, $200. Put any tire of any motorcycle you want in
Put a
there.
receiver hitch on the bottom of it, so you could just put a rail on out of the end of it or something.
Yeah.
He's
but
never
you know
picking
what?
up any more bikes.
He shouldn't have picked up the one he agreed to, and he's never picking up any more. Because when he got that bike to the destination, and he dropped it off in that driveway, and off he fucked, that was the moment when he was no longer working for that company. Like, he dropped that bike off, like, I dropped your bike off today. Keys are in the mailbox. So there were some shady looking kids hanging around it.
Yeah.
I left it near 3 recycling dumpsters, and I put the key in the ignition. Right.
If he's smart, he just laid it down and made it like it blew over after he left.
Oh, as a motorcycle shop owner, I can tell you there have been several of my customers' motorcycles in my 21-year career that I have thought, wouldn't it be awesome to drive to their house tonight and run over their motorcycle? So I never have to see it again. Because every guy who owns a motorcycle shop knows that there's that one motorcycle that you agreed to work on 17 years ago, and you never should have done that.
Like Smith's.
Ooh, that hurts. But yeah,
What?
which is, by the way, never true.
I
We
know,
worked on
I'm
everything
just-
for him, but
I
it
know.
is funny though that there is always a customer though it's sometimes it's not the customer, it's the fucking bike.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, Jesus Christ, why did we agree to work on this fucking thing?
Smith's case, it's him and the bike.
Well, that
have
was
a
the
saying
point.
around-
That was the point.
We have a saying around here that we don't work on Chinese bikes because sometimes when we work on Chinese bikes and you bring it in for problem A,
Right.
we fix problem A, and then while we're test riding it, problem B and C and D show up.
Right.
That happened this week.
Oh, no.
One of them got through. A Lance got through the system. Lance got through the system. And we fixed everything and we took care of the things that were on the repair order. And on the way home, the guy's exhaust fell off. Good news, we never touched the exhaust.
Ah.
Bad news, the exhaust fell off.
Right.
Super bad news, we were the last people to work on it.
Right.
So nobody's going to convince him that even though we didn't touch his exhaust falling off was our fault.
So falling off meaning it broke or just fell
It cracked.
off? Oh,
it
wonderful.
cracked at the header, and you know where they do.
Yeah.
You know, because China.
Good
And,
metal.
you know,
Good metal.
very good metal. I was shocked when I took the thing, when I grabbed it and held it in my hand, how steel could be that thin. They must build those exhausts by the pound.
Right.
Yeah. So if they can shave any weight off of them, you're good to go. Super funny, but
Well,
anyway.
you know what that causes that? It's because like so you look at a Chinese bike usually like the ones that come like the Grimm or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the exhaust pipe is about this big.
Oh yeah.
But then but where they welded it is like so the actual hole is about that big.
Oh, they weld the inside a lot thicker than they weld the outside. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Built-in restrictor.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So there you go. There's a tip for you when you're tying something in. It's a good thing to know.
See, my question is, I've never ever tied the front wheel like you said.
Really?
I always use two straps. And I cross them like this and I go down.
Yep.
But that's still a triangle.
It's still a triangle.
And it's not, the handlebars can't move.
Look, man.
And the back end could swing around all at once, but the front wheel's never going to move.
But if something...
This works. Like this technique right here works perfectly. If you can imagine you're here and you grab that side of the truck and that side of the track, it ain't going nowhere. You're safe. So Xing them up works great.
But a wheel chock and one strap would work too, right?
That's yeah.
But I think if you're on Route 75 from Detroit, I would say that would test that system. You'd want that front. It's not. I mean, I'm not arguing the fact that that doesn't work, but I just think that little thing, a wheel chock or a thing to hold that front wheel, is going to help you a little bit.
I usually put two in the back too. I mean, if I'm going a long distance, I'll put two in the back in case the front two fail.
And if you have four like that, and they're like
yeah,
this,
that's true. Yeah.
Also, to your point, if people have them straight down, right? So like the bike can move this way, but if you have two in the back that are like this and two in the front that are like this, so they're both tensioned, pulling the bike in one area, then that probably will help quite a bit.
Absolutely.
But if you just have them straight like this, two in the front.
No, they're always at an angle, like you said, a triangle.
Yeah.
Triangles, man. Yeah, that's it. It's all about the triangles.
The only problem with the older scooters is that the front fender always sticks out further than the bike.
tire.
Yep.
So the tire choke definitely helps a lot to push the bike and the tire further from the fender, because now you're going to fuck it up really bad.
I think scooters are a whole different gig too, because you usually don't have a handlebar to strap to. You got plastic and other things and all kinds of shit.
And so there's a lot of motorcycles. The Indian, your Vulcan, your Drifter. So your Drift, there's a lot of motorcycles that have a lot of extra valances, a lot of body work on them.
Right.
And you got to be real careful, because on a lot of those bikes, the chock, right? The chock can actually hit your fender.
Right.
And then the other angle you got to be careful of is your fucking brake rotors.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody thinks about that. So if you guys don't mind for 1 second, I'm going to go grab a training aid. Okay. A graphic aid.
What do you get? I've always thought maybe like a set of turnbuckles that go right to your foot pegs. So not strappies, but like those little turnbuckles.
Oh, yeah.
Like a hook that goes over, like you set your bike in there, you have a thing right here and here, and a turnbuckle goes over each foot peg, and then you crank them down. And now it's not a strap that can break, and when you're holding your foot pegs, it's not going anywhere.
I mean, I know
That's a great idea,
There's a way
actually.
of doing the loop on the handlebars. I prefer using, at least for the Vespas or for my L state, the Canon. Just the
Canyon
whole,
dancers.
Those are really good, because I mean they're really soft.
Technically, it's called a bar harness. The guy who created it will get angry if you call it a Canyon dancer.
I finally got good straps, and like they have a thing where the hook's down here, and you wrap a thing around the bar and then come down. Right. Is that what you're talking about, or different?
No, these are. I don't know how to.
They actually go over the hand grips.
Right.
Yeah, there's cups, and you put them on both sides, and the strap kind of goes.
Okay, through them. Okay.
So you pull them the other way.
Yeah, I did my first oil change on the Vespa on Sunday and tied it down on the lift. I'm like, nothing to tie it to but the hand grips. Tied it down. Then the next day I watched a video to see if I did it right, and I'm like, yeah.
Yep, you got away with it. Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen a lot of in the rallies. I had a friend of mine that used the ratchety ones on the handlebars on the Vespa.
And
it snaps.
It snaps.
It just snaps the whole thing.
So, and that's a real dangerous thing. Yeah, that's for real.
Like the newer one.
And the BMWs too, you can't strap to the bars anyway, because of the front suspension.
Right.
Doesn't work the same way. You have to go to right below.
Yep. You go to the bottom of the triple.
Right.
Yep. So here's what John was talking about. Thank you, John. You'll be happy to know that your idea has earned a company millions of dollars. Yeah. So Risk Racing and a couple of other companies do this awesome system, especially for dirt bikes, where all you do is you put this bit of E-track in the bottom of your vehicle, and then you pull your dirt bike in, and you load the suspension up on the dirt bike, right? And so this thing's got two cam adjusters on it real quick that you operate. And all you do is you literally pull your bike in the back of your truck. You get up on the pegs.
Stand on those fucking things.
Yes, you get up on the pegs and you bounce it, and it locks it in.
Cool.
You lock it in, and these things are solid fucking gold. They
never
work
seen
great,
that before.
and it is the answer if you want a really good way to tie your bike in without putting tons of tension. Because remember, dirt bikes have really squishy front suspension. We don't want to be bottoming that out to get our thing. There is a ghetto version This is the ghetto version.
That's the John version.
Yeah, that's the ghetto version.
That's what he was talking about.
Yep. So there's the ghetto version using just chain and carabiners.
They still have a chock, though, in the front.
Yep. And then here's another, essentially, poor man's version of the same thing, right? And so that idea, that works really good using the pegs. And if you look in the history of motorcycling, there are several different versions of the same concept of putting tension downward on the pegs. Because pegs are strong enough to hold my fat ass when I'm hitting bumps and shit. So it can absolutely hold your motorcycle what's in the back of your truck.
Your one customer that owns the cheese thing, that guy's big, and the pegs don't break. So if it can hold that, then
it can hold any goddamn thing.
Right.
And then this one is another one. So the cheese thing. Yeah. So that idea of coming in off the pegs is a really, really good idea. That one's called bike binders with the Z because it's punk rock and it's Z. But you'll see that the piece it goes into is just an E-track cleat. So it's just a single piece of E-track. Now, if you want to be ghetto, you can just use a fucking turnbuckle.
There's your thing, John.
So if you want to just use a turnbuckle, you can do that too.
But they used a box underneath it.
Yeah, they
so
put a box underneath
the box down.
Exactly. You got it.
Because then you don't have to worry about hitting a giant bump and your suspension compressing too much.
You're good. So, so that's a great idea, and that's a really, really good way to approach it. If you have something like a dirt bike and you want to tie it in, super cool.
It might be, it's kind of going to have to be kind of customized for your, that's be something like you do for your bike.
Right.
You get it all set up, so your bike is just clicked into it.
So I pick up, like, I am love all, serve all. I'm United Colors of Benetton when it comes to picking up motorcycles. So this is a very funny wheel chock. These are harder than you can imagine to find. You'll notice that it swoops down. Okay,
yeah,
it's got a knuckle in it.
It avoids the stoppies.
Right. So the idea behind this is it gives you room for your fucking brake rotors. So it's wide enough you can get your tire in, but the brake rotors aren't necessarily hitting. Would you guys like to hear a cautionary tale?
Sure.
Okay. So customer brings his Ducati motorcycle into my shop one time, and of course it's a Ducati motorcycle. So everything on the motorcycle is the perfect amount of metal. Mm-hmm. There is no extra metal on a Ducati motorcycle. We checked.
And none of it's cheap.
No.
Right.
And it's all made out of angel hair, right? Exactly. Yeah. So every piece of metal on Ducati is the most expensive piece of metal ever.
Right.
And so this bike comes in with its floating rotors. Floating rotors. And all that just means is there's a series of little fucking hockey pucks that go all the way around. And the idea is if there's all the hockey pucks are present, the rotor stays where it's supposed to be, but the rotor can move laterally left and right.
Right. So you don't get warping rotors.
Exactly.
So instead of 1 or 2 slide points, now you have 10 slide points to get all hung up.
Oh yeah.
Well, what was wrong with the floating caliper? Or do you have to have both?
As we all know,
Ducati has to make it more complicated.
Well, as we all know, what was wrong with the floating caliper was that Honda proved very early in their history that things stop floating pretty quickly.
Especially if it goes in mud or water or salt.
Right. So the idea is with floating rotors, you can tap them, and if they sound like a pocket full of loose change, clanky, clank, clank, clankety, clank, tank, tank, tank. That's those little discs. Those little discs are doing their job. Everything is free. Everything is moving the way it should. And if your bike is 10 years old and it hasn't been maintained right, they stop floating, and then you start getting wavy rotors and overheated brake pads and everything else. Pulsating, all kinds of crazy shit. So, but here's the thing about floating rotors. Well, in the interest of making the motorcycle wheel lighter and going for a lower unsprung weight, they've made these rotors that it used to be you couldn't bend a fucking brake rotor with a deuce and a half. Well, now if you put a brake rotor into a normal wheel chock and you give at it with the ratchet straps, you can bend the ludicrous mother out of that rotor. Like, so this dude brought his Ducati in here with his Brembos, and that was cool. And he brought it in. He saved some money on the shipping. And we wheeled it off the trailer. And as I'm taking it off the trailer, out of the back of the pickup truck, the bike was going,
oh, no.
And I was like, that's not normal. And so then I was like, okay. So I was trying to push it in the service department. And the bike was, and I looked down, and I could see the rotors doing their best Pringles impersonation. Right? And I'm like, dude. What? Your rotors are fucked.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're fucked? They're fucked. Define fucked. Fucked. I'll roll it. You look at them. And if you can come up with any other word other than fucked, I'll be here listening.
Did he say cupped?
No, he said fucked.
Okay.
So I rolled the bike while he looked at it, and they were just like, hook. And they were bottoming the pads out. Because when you have floating rotors, you have stationary calipers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the pad that moves, which is a good way to find when you got air bubbles in your system. Because that pad moving will find all the air bubbles. Because you won't have any brakes.
Oh.
Because then when you try to use the brake, the pads are all pushed in.
Right.
So when you got a wavy rotor in a system with a static mounted caliper, the rotor pushes the pads out of the way.
Right.
So when the kid runs out in front of you, the first pump does nothing. The first pump moves the pads in a little bit. They're still not even hitting the rotors yet. It takes 2 or 3 good pumps to make the bike stop.
It's like you just did a brake job and you haven't quite pumped them up yet.
Exactly, because that wavy rotor has pushed the pads back out of the way. So I explained the situation to the guy, and he's not too happy about it. And then he somehow blames us because I helped him get it off the truck.
Obviously. And
then
you pushed it. When you pushed it, you probably broke it.
And then I pointed to his wheel chocks, which did not have the aforementioned notch.
If you go to the Harbor Freights, they actually go this way.
They go the other way. That's right. And so what he'd done is he'd managed to fit his front wheel in the wheel chock and then keep adding tension until those brake rotors fit in too.
Yeah.
So he squeezed his brake rotors all the way into the wheel chock, which is super not good for them. And they were fucked. And you know what? Do you know how much Ducati brake rotors are?
Not cheap.
Fucking expensive. It was crazy how expensive that shit was. And
Can't you just straighten them out for me?
that was the first question, by the way. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He said, can't you just straighten them out for me? And I went, you don't know anything about metal, do you? And so, yeah, they were proper fucked.
I'll take them off. You straighten them out. I'll put them back on
again.
You know what's better than a floating brake rotor? A full floater suspension.
A full floater suspension. Yeah, baby. So yeah, that's why you don't use certain wheel chocks. Like in certain wheel chocks, be fucking careful. If those wheel chocks can pinch your rotors, if your rotors are anywhere near hitting that metal, abort. Throw some fucking wood in there, put some dunnage in there, get the wheel back, tie it in, make sure that no part of the tension from the tie-down strap is working against your rotor.
Do you know, this whole discussion just made me realize there's one benefit to having a big 36-inch front wheel bagger. You don't have to deal with getting your rotors pinched in a wheel.
You mean like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about it.
True enough. That is totally true.
That's the one advantage of having that front wheel.
32s on the front.
Big fucking giant redonkulous motorcycle. There is no chance of hitting that rotor.
Nope.
I think
Yeah,
one of the
unless you put a
safest.
rotor that's.
But you also can't get that bike into the back of anything without it high centering.
No, or
So you're
stopping
fucked. Or
actually
stop.
anytime.
That's right. Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to grab a bunch of 4-inch U channel from my dad's garage, so it's 4 inches wide.
Yep.
It's a channel.
Perfect.
And if you take any section of that, and you could just take a section of it and mount it to the front of your bed.
Absolutely.
And when your tire hits that, it's not
That's a
going
wheel
left.
chock.
That's a wheel chock. It
Yep.
goes
Yeah.
left. If you want to make an L, like
Right.
cut it part way and then bend it and make it a 90, then the
Even
front
better.
and bottom of your wheel will
Yeah.
go in that, and you can put that on
Yeah.
anything.
You're super duper secure at that point.
I took a rail of that and made a 90 at the end of it, which would hold the front, and put that on my stupid motorcycle jack, the one that has to normally go up and hit the bottom of the bike somewhere where you have exhaust
yeah.
and shit where there's no flat place for it
You
really
mean
to
an
work.
ATV jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put a rail on that and then you put the bike on that, well, now the bike's already up off the ground.
That's
It's
right.
not,
Oh, yeah.
The jack doesn't have to go halfway up before it hits the bike. Well, now you can jack the bike up to like workable height.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sketchy. It's a little tippy. But
Yeah,
it
as
works.
you can see in the picture, there's something wrong with that picture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's not
There's
good.
something wrong with that picture. And there's actually something wrong with that picture within an inch or so, right? Because you know if you tie that bike in, you can see that there's an inch of sunshine in front of that front tire. And when you tie that bike in, that whole tire is going to move forward, that wheel chock's going to get pinched on that arm, and that... Don't let the people at Max Tow or whatever the fuck it is try to tell you that's not just a fucking $29 Harbor Freight wheel chock, because that's exactly what it is. I got 3 of those motherfuckers. That's what that bike is. You know,
Well,
you
no,
can paint it
the
orange.
Harbor Freight one is even worse because, like, you know, like when you buy the cheap Easy Ups and they
Yeah.
have the pinsies and you put them together?
Yep.
That thing is pinsies. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the little metal things that you push.
There's
in.
the Harbor Freight one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Harbor Freight one. And
It's terrible.
We all know that one. I mean, like, that's got me out of some jams before. But you can do a lot with a little.
But that
I
was
like that right there.
Yeah,
that
you
was
don't
the
need a lot.
expensive Harbor Freight
Yes,
one.
it
Have you
is.
seen the $9 one? It's terrible.
It's worse
It's
than
worse
yeah,
than that.
$9?
It's a $9 wheel
It's a
chuck.
loop. It's the same thing you use to hang your garden hose on the wall.
Yeah, it's made out of. It's made like when you can take it in your right hand and go
Crush it.
and bend
Absolutely.
it. It's crazy.
Totally crush it. Yeah, it's like that's what that is. But anyway, getting away from that, just tire shocks. Shit's important, man. You're tying your bike in.
You could do it with wood, though. I mean, throw a piece of plywood and put two 2x4s
Yeah.
beside your wheel.
Absolutely.
And it'll keep
Yeah.
it straight.
You're
I mean,
right.
like-
You're absolutely right.
Oh yeah, if you like fucking messing around with tree carcasses, that's what you do. Like if you like dicking around with dead trees and stuff, you totally can do
Look,
that.
there
shit.
it is. The second one, second row,
This one.
second.
It's that
Yep,
one right
look at
there.
it. It has a pincy. See the top? It's like fucking terrible.
That is really designed to fuck you up. But
That's for
again,
a moped. If you have a moped, feel free to buy that.
Right.
That might
That's
work
true.
for the
Right.
moped.
Yeah, if you got an inboard drum brake.
Right.
I was gonna say
Safe
drum-
enough. Yeah, drum brake, good to go. But if you have anything sexy that has a fender, you don't want anything to do with that. That's a fucking nightmare, dude. That's a bad idea. That is just awful. So anyway,
Economy. It's an economy wheel chuck.
economy wheel chuck.
So if you have a $40,000 motorcycle, you probably need a little.
It's like, I like their term, economy hitch carrier.
What's wrong with putting the bike diagonally in the back of your pickup truck and
That's perfect. In the
sticking it-
corner?
Sticking it in the corner.
Yeah.
You're okay
Yep.
with that.
Absolutely cool with that, except for
Make sure you got triangles.
on the left side, there's all kinds of triangles for you to work with. You can get that left handlebar over to any of the tie downs on the left side of the truck. On the right side, you're kind of fucking hating it.
Backwards.
There's not a lot of choice. So if you've stuffed your front wheel of your motorcycle into the front right corner of your pickup truck, and you got the side stand down or not, I don't care. Over on the right, there's not a lot of shit to tie into because going to the front right corner of your bed, it's straight in line with your headlight. So there's not a lot of that. So the bike will really resist going to the right. There's not a lot to keep it from going to the left. So you got to get into the right rear corner of the bed to tie that to the back frame of the bike, which I've done 1,000 times. It's not a problem. It's just not perfect. I keep them straight, let the tailgate fly in the wind. It's more American. Makes the truck faster, improves your miles per gallon. Mythbusters proved it. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, we don't need that shit. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. So there you have it. Anybody got anything else?
Well, what did Nick send us about that scooter or something that was 150 miles per charge or something? I didn't see the picture of it. But are you in?
Yeah, I sent that.
Did you send it?
What is it? What's it called?
I can't remember.
Oh,
Jesus.
Come on now.
Christ.
It's
Early
only going to
onset
be
dementia.
available in India initially, so. But they're saying no, like 250 kilometers per charge.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Top speed of about 60 miles an hour.
That's kind of a lot too. That's totally usable in most gentlemen's situations. Like
Right.
that's cool. All right. So yeah, 4.8 kilowatt battery, which is not small. That's pretty good. That's bigger than Zero's single battery, but way smaller than their double. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get some information here. Oh yeah, that's wow. That is ugly. I'll give you that. Wow. I'm going to acknowledge that is okay. Two things. I just watched a movie recently called Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
And there was a phrase that they used in the movie when they talked about the guy that Ben Stiller was in a movie called Simple Jack. Mm-hmm. And one of the other artists in the play said, "You made the mistake. Mm-hmm. You never go full retard."
Right.
And what I have to say is,
And that guy was a white guy playing.
that was Robert Downey,
was
Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
taking some chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best
He
way
had
to
a-
say it.
He had a signed letter from Morgan Freeman saying he was okay to do that.
He had a pretty hefty suntan.
He had an actual signed letter from Morgan Freeman saying, "I've read the script and I approve."
Okay.
No, he didn't. I made that shit up. I don't fucking know how he did it. He's fucking Robert Downey Jr.
It's the
man.
internet, man.
It is.
It was the perfect time for
Yeah.
making that movie
Yeah.
and him pulling it off.
Yeah.
I don't think he can do that anymore.
He got away with it. There was like a 5-minute window. He slid it right in.
God, and nailed it.
That was a tail
He's
hook
fucking
landing.
Iron Man. You can't fuck with
If he
Iron
ever
Man.
goes to run for public office, though, it'll be held against
It
him.
will
Okay,
be.
one, he's Robert Downey Jr. And I was alive when he was fun. And when
Less
he was
than
fun,
zero?
when he was fun, him and Charlie Sheen set new records.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Winning.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. So exactly how long of a line? What's the most snorf you've ever sneefed?
Yeah.
What's the most sneef you've ever snorfed in meters?
You don't want to know.
You
from
don't want to
those
be
guys.
against those two guys. So this is the simple one, by the way.
The simple one is
I mean, I know we're kind of dancing around the thing. It's called the simple one. So first of all,
There's no way that those stats are right.
it's called the simple one, Steve. So
It's-
they don't have to
it's
worry
slightly-
because nobody's ever going to buy one.
It's slightly better than the dong.
Again, if you want to create something and never have to produce it,
Right. Just name it something like that.
the impotent 250 was already taken. I'm going to run down to the store and buy a flaccid 100.
I was just going to say the flaccid 150.
Flaccid 150. Yes. Yes, that's what it is. The Fat Girl 350 didn't sell a single one. Although Gorditas.
Gordon, yeah.
Fuck. Man, I'm still mad about that. All right.
An acne.
Never eat
300.
another. An acne. Exactly. Back knee. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the new Kimco back knee.
3
Fuck you.
stars.
3 stars. Yeah. So the simple one will be launched in India.
The BO 350.
Yeah. It is an electric scooter with a range of apparently 240 kilometers in eco mode. Important safety tip. On a lot of these electric scooters, eco mode is 11 miles per hour.
Right. It's bike
yeah.
lane. It's bike
It
lane
is
mileage. per
Not
hour.
even bike lane.
Right.
It is being passed by an old grandma on a foot scooter. Yeah. She's wearing those fucking Heelys. Yeah. Nice out.
Heelys.
I saw they have Heelys in adult sizes now. And I'm going to tell you, the reason they didn't have Heelys in adult sizes before is I looked at that and I was like, I've always wanted those. And then I thought, head injuries are a bitch at my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those will kill more people than COVID.
Exactly. Right. You remember the great Heelys outbreak of 2021? We offered them in a men's 14. We'll never do that again.
The
They're
better.
selling well at nursing homes.
No, but I was about to say the better thing would be like wheelies that have a remote, and you don't tell the people they're wheelies until you hit the
Until
fucking
you load
remote.
them up. Yeah, until you load them up. Yeah, that's a good one. So anyway, the simple one, which I do, by the way, I have to call attention to the fact that the simple one is the Mark II.
They call it Corky.
It's the simple one Mark II.
Wait,
Mark 1.
But was yeah.
What happened to the indestructible the first? Fell apart. So that's the simple one Mark II. So apparently the simple one Mark I
Right.
was a real fucking sales success.
Steve, that would be the perfect name for your new boat. Indestructible 2.
The indestructible 2. Exactly.
That's a good name.
The unsinkable 2. Yes. What happened to the first one? Like I
So the
said,
first one was a simple 0.5
the
Mark
simple
1.
right. The simple one Mark II. Again, I'll say it.
Math is hard.
Math is hard. And you know what? They don't have to worry because the only place I would ride that is drunk and naked at Mid-Ohio, so it's fair. I mean, that's it. I'm not going to spend that much money for a joke, so it's safe, right? It's okay. But it does claim to have a 4.8 kilowatt lithium-ion battery pack, and it has a claimed range of claimed step speed of. It can accelerate from 0 to 50 kph in 3.6 seconds, which that's 35 miles per hour. Well, 30 miles per hour. So 30 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, that's not slow. That's pretty fast. That's pretty good. So that's all cool. Anyway, anything important, it has 4G connectivity.
What?
Yeah. Anyone sitting at the table who understands the way science works, it does not have 4G connectivity. It does not.
Does it have a SIM card slot?
I guess.
It doesn't have 4G connectivity. Okay? It can have a cellular mode. It can have a cellular phone going into it, and it can be Wi-Fi, and it can be Bluetooth.
No, what it means is if you're
Probably that's
riding it,
4.0, and they're calling
Let's
it.
just say what it is. Yeah.
or if you're on it, 4 Goombas might show up and take you out.
Yeah. There's a lot of like throwing words around in this copy, so it's like, yep, all right. So that's cool.
Wait, what is the live TV? Are they saying that you could go live on something there? What is that?
Well, it's a quote. So you click on that and it'll be the TV interview of a guy from India telling you, speaking in English you can't understand, about a bike that probably isn't going to exist as he's talking about it and whatever, right? And there you go. But I will say that the link on the iCube, no shit, this is another disaster, iCube, we got to have a talk about square mirrors. We got to have a talk about just in general. There's only one bike in the world that can make a PC 800 look beautiful. We found it.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking ugly. Dude, that is hideous. That's an ugly
That
motorcycle.
hurts me.
What?
Hoffert probably loves it.
That bike?
Yeah.
That right
No.
there. That scooter right
No,
there.
he
I
had
don't.
that laying
No,
in
he
front of
loves
the
the
shop.
PC 800.
No, but like I'm saying,
Steve took a stroll on his PC 800 today.
that bike pulls up next to a PC 800, and the PC 800's like, Tierra, bitch, I won. Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah.
what's your score to that bike?
Yeah.
Don't you love it?
Fender's ugly.
It's
The lights are ugly.
it's a mess. The
The
bike's a
ass
mess.
is ugly.
The bike's a mess.
The angle's wrong on the floorboards.
Three stars.
They have a bike that looks
stars.
like a Q-tip, and they gave it square mirrors. So whatever.
Right.
Yeah. You don't go to India for your styling.
Nope.
No.
Enough said.
Did
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
did I tell you guys I saw
I give it no rating.
no
Wow, that's
It was the
pretty
worst
low.
bike ever. -3 stars.
I saw a Pan America in the wild.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
I got passed by
My doctor's office.
No, I was riding my bike.
I was next to 3 garbage cans.
Oh no.
I gotta say, man, I was on my Z900. I was on a ride, just doing my thing.
Right.
And across me was a Pan America.
Yeah.
It was a black one. It wasn't the gold, or it wasn't the orange and
Orange
whatever.
and black.
It was
or
the
so
black,
there's
all the black.
Black, and black.
Steve's new rating system will not give you stars. It will give you garbage cans. One garbage can, two
garbage cans.
That's 3 garbage cans.
Yep.
But,
I dig that.
It hauled off in front of me, and I couldn't hear it. It's very quiet. It's not Harley-esque, as they would say.
At this point, to not like the Panamera, or is it Pan America?
I think Pan America. I think.
I keep confusing it with the Porsche.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Panamera, right?
Right. So to not like the Pan America, you would have to be the most marketing resistant motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about like Ted Kaczynski levels of not paying attention to shit. Like
Right.
you've got to be the guy who's literally like wiping your ass with coconut husks.
Right.
To not at this point just be proximally in love with the Pan America just because every journalist in the world
Was sucking his dick.
Yeah.
100%.
I get it. And you know what? I haven't ridden one yet, so I have no basis for opinion whatsoever.
Didn't we see this thing like 3 years ago at the motorcycle
We did.
show? And it's like,
It was behind glass.
it was vaporware.
Yeah.
Well,
Vaporware.
but
Now one has actually been seen in the wild.
I've seen it in the wild.
Which
and
is better than we could say for the live wire.
No, but I did get on 4022.
No, there's live wires out there.
Show me. Where have you seen a live
Oh,
wire?
not here.
Yeah,
Not in Cleveland.
not in Cleveland.
Oh, are you
No.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No, but I've seen.
We've got a level 2 charger out front, which is basically live wire repellent because they can only charge at level 3. Like they see a level 2 and they just hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But,
one that I did see live, actually yesterday, was Nikon.
Oh, you saw a
I
Nikon.
saw here
Oh,
in
wow.
Cleveland yesterday,
Yeah.
driving on for a.
And your hands automatically do the like.
yeah, I was like,
You immediately
"Nah,
were
he's
like-
gonna eat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
That
don't
was
know.
weird.
I mean, this could be attributed to the rider or something.
Yeah.
But we got onto 422 together.
Yeah.
And I gave it a little juice.
Right.
And he was with me, and then I
Right.
gave it a little more juice, and he was
Yeah.
with me, and then I gave it more juice, and he was no longer with
Right.
me. That was it.
Well, I mean, it's
Last time
a
I saw him.
1200 and some odd cc motorcycle.
And I'm on a 900cc motorcycle.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
They both go well over 100 miles per hour.
I'm sure, but I got there faster.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So
At some point, he was like, "I'm not going to do that."
Yeah, that was it.
Did he have all the boxes on it?
no, this was a naked,
naked?
one. Naked. Naked.
A naked Pan America?
Yeah.
Oh my stars! Wow, that's
Clothes
something.
off?
You could see the parts of the motorcycle
but
you're never
here,
supposed
here
to see.
was the interesting part, right?
Yeah.
So when you see most adventure bikes,
Yeah.
what do you see? That's the cops calling you about the trash can bike. I guarantee. you.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
But
Yeah.
what,
Okay,
when
they
you,
found my bike. It's at the scrapyard. Can you go
Can you
pick
go
it up?
get
yeah,
it? No, dude, you had your one. Right.
And I need it for this weekend.
but this was interesting. So on the bike, when
Right.
you see an adventure bike, what do you usually see? You see all the climb gear and
Yeah,
all
you
that
see
stuff.
the climb
right?
gear and a bunch of aluminum boxes.
This guy had Harley Davidson gear on.
Oh, he was fully orange and black?
Orange and black the whole way down.
I'm suspecting he was a spokesman from the motor company.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah. Well,
Like,
there you go, man.
I think when he sold him the bike, they were like, and by the way, for an extra
Did he have
$4,
conchos on his boots? No. Was he wearing big fuck off boots with
No,
big conchos
but
on
I'm
the
telling
side?
you, I'm
Yeah.
telling you what they're doing is
Yeah.
they partnered with somebody and they said for only $9 more a month on your payment,
Right.
you can have this.
The gear.
Yeah.
We'll give you the Harley Davidson riding
Right,
gear.
right.
It's
Right.
essential.
Yeah, it's Aerostitch, but it's made in Milwaukee and it only comes in orange and black.
You don't want anybody to think you're riding a BMW, do you?
No.
Please emblazon the Harley thing on your back, right?
Yeah, no, there's like they little license plate brackets that say it's not a BMW. Right, that's it. Yeah, that's Harley's biggest obstacle at this point. We built the world's most cutting edge motorcycle that can go like ADVing.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure, number one, don't anyone let it think it's a BMW.
Yeah.
If BMW was smart, they'd put styrofoam cylinders
Out
and
the
they
sides.
put them that you could stick to every Harley you saw.
Well-
so you could just see a bunch of Pan Americas and just stick those cylinders on the sides.
I heard a feature. I heard a
fucking
new
cry.
feature. The new update that they had is when it heard a German accent, a Confederate flag pops out
Pops out of the back and plays Dixie. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Say
Yeah.
German.
Yeah, that's it. You know what, though? They did say, our friend Chris Ashmore from the Cafe Racer podcast, he said that when he was riding a BMW, that there's a button that you can press if the bike breaks down, and black helicopters will show up and pick your bike up. I wonder if on the Pan America there's a button you can press and a rusty Dodge pickup truck will show up.
There was a guy with a
Hey,
beard
what's
like
going on with your bike?
No, an actual tow truck with no capacity
With
at
no
all.
capacity on the motorcycle. Actual tow mater will show up.
Oh shit! So me and Mike rode a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, Chris,
What?
correct the English, please.
Settle down.
But anyways, we rode and we were sitting there. We were having lunch. We rode a couple 100 miles, whatever, 100 miles. And we were having lunch, and all of a sudden it was in Burton or somewhere out there,
Yeah.
and we got passed by Lightning McQueen, Tow Mater, and all this stuff. And it was part of like somebody has
All the
like
Pixar cars?
yeah, but they were real.
But they were real?
They were driving by. They had like a car show apparently.
Okay.
But it was so awesome. We're just sitting. We had no idea what was happening. So I'm just sitting there having a beer, and I look over, and Tow Mater drives by, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then fucking Lightning McQueen drives
That's the cool
by.
thing now hillbillies doing. Like white guys all over America are like, how can I make my car look like a cartoon character?
Oh yeah.
Stop! You were already being accused of being a pedophile. Now your fucking car looks like a Disney Pixar character. Are you fucking kidding me? I can't make my bike look like the little goddamn mermaid without getting the wrong kind of attention. Stupid. I got a fucking scooter that looks like Chewbacca.
Right.
Children are asking to hug it. I'm on thin ice here, man.
Right.
You can't be
Would you
like,
like
I got the car looks like Lightning McQueen.
Right.
That's not to talk to old men.
Right.
Yeah.
You have been questioned about asking kids to see your job at a hut, though.
Yes, exactly. Hey! Speaking of hairy assholes, the Olympics, Euros, baseball, major championships, and concerts are all in this summer. You know what isn't? A wild and hairy bush. Tame your pubes with help from our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below the waist grooming. Their 4th generation performance package includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. If an athlete treats their body like royalty, why not treat your pubes like Olympic gold? Fellas, do right by your balls and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going with the code ClevelandMoto.
Actually, 1,999,999 because
Steve Hoffert refuses to do anything about the shrubs in front of his house. His neighbors are like, dude, you're hurting our resale value. His neighbors are like, God damn, do you even have a porch?
Who knows what could be peeking through his bushes?
You know what they said about having a nice trim topiary in front of your house? What does it do? It keeps the prowlers at bay. They can't hide and look in your
curb
windows.
appeal.
Curb appeal. Nothing beats curb appeal. Nothing provides curb appeal like a freshly shorn scrotum.
I'm looking forward to a few prowlers.
Bring on all the prowlers you can handle. So yes, my friends, if you enjoy listening to the Cleveland Moto podcast, because guess who got actually picked up
Who?
by Manscaped?
Us?
Yeah. They're going to give us money.
Hey, right here's the thing.
There's the thing. In case you were wondering, my God, they're actually going to give us, they're going to pay us to keep doing this dumb shit.
Excellent.
I know. Talk about a world-class dismount into a post-quarantine world. This package is the perfect package for your package and peak performance in whatever sport you desire.
Nice.
I love that one. That's
That was
a good one. I like that. Their writing has gone up a notch.
Can you read the female one though?
Oh shit! You want me to?
We have to.
Okay, all right. Let me go look for it. I'll go find it real quick. Yeah, they do. They do.
They have a female read though. So like for a lady podcast, this is more for like a lady podcast where like you're trying to convince your man to trim down the bush so you can get to the meat.
Clamscape.
No, the Clamscape.
Again, we haven't heard any feedback on Clamscape. I think we got to sit on that.
I do.
Yeah.
I like the other ones.
Well, you like Ku Klux Klanscape?
Oh no!
Because I thought Ku Klux Klanscape was a very good opportunity.
It was.
Right.
Too much.
When you're peeking behind the sheets, it's good to see the meat.
Right.
And Ku Klux Klanscape. We just broke Oscar. For the listeners at home, we just made a Mexican spew. That happened. So that's how that goes. You know what? The female copy wasn't that great. So I think it was the one we read before about the beach bod thing. But I like the Olympics one. I really like the Olympics one. That's my favorite one. The dismount is brilliant.
Speaking of the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
So they took the runner's trophy away, or she can't go to the Olympics because she smoked weed. But they want to add skateboarding to the Olympics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only sport you can't do unless you're high.
I know. It's like they're gonna be like, ladies and gentlemen, 2022 skateboarding, and all the
Ladies and
contestants
gentlemen,
have
weed's now legal.
Right.
That's exactly.
The
There'll be an
weird thing is
official
that they're designated a performance-enhancing drug.
for skateboarding. Can confirm.
just takes
I'm just saying,
For
I mean,
snowboarding, can confirm.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you that I can't snowboard unless I'm 100% fucking medicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, like your employer should be like, it's a performance-enhancing drug. If you'd like to enhance your performance at your work, go right ahead.
Right on.
I learned about coffee. You know that coffee wasn't in this country till 1690 or something.
Really?
NPR.
Yeah, NPR.
It was just tea?
No, nothing. They had nothing.
Yeah, there was tea. Like,
No, not in the States. Not in the States. In fact, children were fed hard.
Chocolate also.
Yep. Children were fed hard mead and cider because it was safe because it didn't have dysentery in it until 1690 when they brought coffee and tea in. And then in like 18 something, there was a silk tie manufacturer who, yeah, you heard it. And so like they were like, the war happened, and then they couldn't get any of the guys to make these intricate ties, so they brought women in, and they could do it, but they got tired after 4 hours.
Okay.
So one of the women were like, well, if you let us have some coffee and tea, we'll do better.
Yes, you will.
And so they said, well, we'll try it. And so they did, and the production went up like 100%.
Of course it
the next
did.
day, and that was the first coffee break ever in the United States.
Get out of here.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. That's
but,
cool.
But here's the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
95% of the people in this country
yeah.
have their baseline who they are is on drugs. They're caffeinated people. So they don't
Can't
know.
confirm.
Right. So they don't. You
can't
don't
confirm.
know what you are as a non-drugged person. So even the teetotaler, religious people that go
I've
and
done
do-
it.
Right.
I've done a lot of time with
And
no
even
coffee.
if you stop drinking coffee, now all you know is what you're like in remission.
Right.
Because
also true.
You still don't know
You
what.
have to wait a long time before you actually went
What
back
did the guy
to your
say?
normal
3
basis.
months?
3 months.
That
Yeah.
he
Is that
knocked
what it
off?
is?
Yeah.
I've been a coffee enthusiast then since 1984.
Right.
Yeah. I've been on a medical field grade of coffee.
Right.
Here's a tip from your Unkie Phil. You want a free one?
Yeah.
Okay. If you got a way to boil water,
Yeah.
you're halfway there. The other thing you need is some coffee. You got some coffee? We're getting closer.
Okay.
Now, do you have a sock?
Sure.
Because now you are game on, motherfucker.
I thought you were going to say, do you have mescaline?
Not that sock, I hope.
No.
The stiff sock.
Manscaped sock.
Rusty one.
The happy sock.
That's right, John. We call it the happy sock. Yeah. Don't waste them motherfuckers on the
I
floor.
was listening when Sergeant Waters gave me
That was
the.
right. The rule about the happy sock. So, but yeah, we were at a rally. We're having good friends with our friends. Jedis find a way, right? And so we're at our friend Kyle's house, and we're all sitting around. We've been in the hot tub for about 7 hours. Shit was weird. I watched guy lit a bottle rocket out of his dick. But you can't. He did.
Well,
right?
Dan will tell you that when we light bottle rockets, especially giant packs of them, there's like a magma that comes out and lands on you, so it's not
Well,
fun.
it was actually like a piece of plastic.
or something, a plug or whatever. Yeah,
There's a plug. I heard about that.
yeah. We had some fun.
All right. Cervical plug?
Oh yeah, We went for the world record of bottle rockets
on one run.
Yeah. And they kind of caught on fire, but it worked pretty fucking well.
I saw the video.
These two instantly turned into 12-year-olds.
I liked how the way it got very scientific as soon as a Burnsomatic torch was added.
God, that was a lot of fun.
As soon as the Burnsomatic came out, it was like, well, we don't need a lighter now.
No,
right.
no.
We can get sciencey.
Well, more than that, we could light a lot more things faster.
Oh, yeah, fast.
And then
when I was a kid, you get the punk.
Yeah.
You'd buy like a dozen bottle rockets and they give you a punk.
Yeah, no.
And you're like, the fuck is this all about? Like, raise your hand if you know what a punk is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You guys all know?
It's an insect.
It's a fucking incense stick.
Yeah.
It's an incest stick.
It's an incest stick.
That doesn't smell good.
That's a dick in West Virginia. So anyway. Yeah,
but John was bathing in flames. It was a good fucking night.
Fucking
Steve,
cool.
sorry about your compound.
It's called a fountain. You got to take a bath.
That's true. It's true.
What I can assure you is this particular evening, we were in the need of some 7 o'clock in the morning coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Because the 4 o'clock in the morning cocaine had worn off. And as usual, there was no more 4 o'clock in the morning cocaine.
Right.
Because the 4 o'clock
Charlie
in the morning
Sheen
cocaine.
and fucking what's-his-face were there. They took it off.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. made sure of that.
Yeah, right.
Whatever the Detroit version of that is.
You were less than 9.
Oh, yeah. But the point is, there was a time when coffee was required.
Right.
And so we were like, oh, man, coffee pot, coffee maker, coffee, whatever. None. Her father, Kyle's dad, Keith, who's dialed in like a motherfucker, he shows up and he's like, yeah, ain't no big deal. He comes back with a dress sock. You know what I'm talking about?
Used or new?
I don't care. Loads it full of mountain grown, right? Ties a knot in the top of it, and summarily deep sixes it in a big pot of water, right? Like, one makeout session later, we had coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee, and it was good coffee. It wasn't bad coffee.
This
it was
offends me a
amazing.
little bit because I like to make good camping coffee, but that's okay.
This
That's
was
fine.
legit.
All right.
And like, I dipped my mug in, and I was like, this is going to taste like sock and ass. No sock.
But were you in the mindset to know whether or not that was a good coffee or not?
That's how you can tell it's good coffee.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't give a
It's
fuck.
a sliding scale. It's a sliding scale, dude. It's a sliding scale. There's like community college and state college and
Right.
like fancy college.
And online college.
This was Arizona State University, Phoenix, whatever the hell, online school. It was perfect, man.
We usually just use a paper towel.
Paper towel, but the paper towel disintegrates. This
I
was
just throw the grounds in.
Again, picking it out of your teeth looked like you ate a bag of Oreos.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
I like the taste of coffee grounds.
Me too, but picking them out of your teeth looked like you ate a bag of Oreos, right? You can't go to the dentist for like 3 weeks after that. So, but the sock was perfect and it worked perfect, and we were just like shocked at how well it worked.
Unless it was nylon, and then that was pretty nasty.
It was nylon sock, but
Really?
none of that came through in the flavor. No, all I got was mountain grown. Like seriously, all I could picture was the last guy in Colombia growing coffee. Yeah, in fact, that whole evening was sponsored by Colombia. Yeah.
Juan Valdez.
All of our money went to Colombia that night. Yeah, go figure. That's it. Ta-da! So remember, guys, 20% off plus free shipping with the code ClevelandMoto at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code ClevelandMoto.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that was a 20-minute commercial. I hope you realize.
We like to provide value.
Do they have nail clippers?
I don't know, but take
That
a
would be
look
called
there.
the hacksaw.
Okay, so what's funny is like you see that pile of shit right there that's on my screen.
Yeah.
You get the cool Manscaped 4.0 trimmer, right? It's very cool. You get the harvester,
The weed whacker?
the weed whacker, right? I was going to call it the combine harvester, but that's a different.
No, I
podcast.
got. Dude, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I got the combine harvester.
Okay.
That's easy
So
for you to say.
I used to have like the man groomer or something, right? There's like this thing that's long and you can extend it to shave your back and
Oh,
ass
it
and
just
stuff.
held a razor.
Yeah.
So it was just a big long arm
Right.
that held a
But
regular manual razor.
I velcroed this motherfucker to that thing. Oh, dude.
Did you really now?
Oh, fuck yeah. It's
They call
great.
it the Lonely Guy 4.0.
That's right. Because I felt embarrassed to ask my
You
wife.
have a wife.
I know, but come on. Babe, could you shave my back hair? That's just not
Yeah?
a thing you want to ask somebody to do.
Okay, again, yeah. Like we said, the idea is you want to make
Honestly, you never know where that could go.
you want to make the off limits areas on limits. I'm going to award you. Yeah, that's
Well, I'm just
it.
saying, a stick and some Velcro can make that very much more functional for a lonely guy.
Yeah.
I wash my back with a sponge on a stick.
No, you can tape the fucking lawnmower
And
to
about
it.
the weed whacker, I got to tell you, this is some good copy. Hang on, you're about to hear good copy. They've given me a little bit of copy here to help me out.
Yeah, bring it out.
Do you copy?
Copy.
Copy.
Roger.
Lost one. This is lost 3 or you lost 2? All right. So the weed whacker
Surely
weed
you're not
whacker.
serious.
is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Well done. I'm captivated. I'm complete. In a world plagued by nicks, snags, and cuts, there's only one trimmer that will do, and that's the weed whacker.
Right.
I'm
Power
fascinated
your
that
way
it's
through with 9,000 RPM
Yes!
of power with a 360 degree.
Not since the Gravedigger has been this kind of torque and horsepower in one implement for cleaning your ear holes, your nose holes, and your assholes. Yeah. Perfect. I think we're in.
And if you're pretty disgusting, your dick hole, if you really need to shave that.
Yeah, as Chris would say.
Woof.
Wait, that's for the Manscaped 4.0, or is that for the other thing?
That's for the weed whacker.
Oh, the weed
nose hole
whacker.
trimmer. Yeah.
So I was going to say, it doesn't make sense that
Borscope.
the Manscaper would be rotary. It
No.
would have to be linear.
No, the Manscaper's linear, 7,000 RPM.
Yeah, baby.
2,000 less RPMs. And a headlight.
Can you do a whole shot with it?
I'd do a whole shot after it. Not before it. Woof. Oh, I'm only going to prison once. That's it. But they give you the preserver and the reviver and all that crap too. So,
Yeah.
you smell nice. The crop preserver and the crop reviver ball toner. Again, it's just funny.
It is.
Water based or.
And Chris is happy because we're no longer making anus jokes.
Right.
We're way off the Janus
It's
jokes.
coming.
It's I sure
Wait till he picks up his testicle 350.
No, Steve. That's the testickler.
Testicular.
The testickler 350. New from the folks that brought you
The Janus.
the Ku Klux Klanscape and Clamscape. It's the testickler 4.0.
It's an attachment.
It's an
As you're
attachment. It
shaving
is the
your fucking-
testickler 4.0. They should be paying us for these ideas.
I know.
You have a set of rollers.
Oh man, this is so bad. Okay. Dave Aldana, official man of honor at the AMA Vintage Days coming up.
Yep.
So that's cool. Very cool. If you ever, we like that.
Since it was 665,000 degrees and we couldn't shoot a Moto Stories.
Yes, it was.
So
Yeah.
after the podcast, if everybody can hang out for like 10 minutes, I want to get everybody's top 3 things that they're bringing to Mid-Ohio.
Yes,
we're gonna make
that's a
that
great idea.
We're going to just shoot
That
it real
is
quick and make
fucking
that
awesome.
a fucking...
I like that idea.
yeah,
Make that a
so-
Moto Stories.
yep.
That's a really good idea, especially with it coming up like it is.
Right.
What most of our podcast listeners don't know is I dropped podcast number 12.
Oh.
Number 12.
Nice.
That was my 42nd birthday. So
Who was on that?
Dustin, Shane, Brian Roach from the Red Riders Scooter Club, Alex Kidd from the Red Riders Scooter Club, myself, and John was there.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. So we were all there.
I should listen to some of those old ones.
It was really fun. And we had done that night, because it was on Tuesday night. We used to do them after non-douchebag bike night. So we used to have a ride we called non-douchebag bike night because Wednesday night was Quaker Steak and Lube.
Oh, right.
Douchebag bike night.
Right.
Yeah. So we decided we would have non-douchebag bike night
Right.
and we'd do our thing. And so we did our thing. We went to a bar called Close Quarters, which is impossibly tiny. I actually think Chris's Janus is bigger. Yeah. Than Close
Still one of my
Quarters.
favorite places.
Yeah. And you could get wings sold to you by the Crypt Keeper. He's passed. He's no longer with us. He's expired from this mortal coil. But he used to make the best goddamn wings in a bar that not more than 16 people could enjoy at the same time.
Sitting on laps.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you look on Playboy magazine or Forbes magazine, the smallest bars in the world, Close Quarters is always listed as like the number 4 or number 5 smallest bar in the world. So it's very cool.
It never seems small to me.
No.
It always seems fun.
It was always perfect.
We always make it in there. Never have a place. I never had a problem getting a seat.
Yep.
Never had.
Yep.
And getting service.
It's like 4 blocks from my house. So it's one of those magic bars that you're just like, yeah, I don't feel like drinking my own beer tonight. What are you going to do? Walk that way. So you walk that way, you go down to close quarters. It's an impossibly tiny bar, and they did have insanely good wings. Yeah. And somehow they cooked them in that garage shed that we were in, that garden shed that is the bar. So, but yeah, it was a great night. We'd had that evening. We recorded the podcast in the garage whilst talking about like that KZ1000 we bought that was going to be a bike build off bike, and then we sold it when we realized we were going to build the CB750 instead because it was easier. Yeah, super fun, all kinds of cool shit. So it's podcast number 12.
And that's from 2011?
2011, yeah. So it's a 10-year-old podcast. And since my birthday wasn't that long ago, it's almost 10 years,
to the date.
To the date, yeah. So it's really fun. And I listen to it. It's a really fun podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And there are some seeds in that podcast that we still are harvesting today, by the way. There's some stupid shit that we say in there that I was like, wow. We've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
Our observant listeners will note that we've been doing this a long goddamn time. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun, kind of interesting. So that's cool. Again, we do have to talk about Mid-Ohio because we did find out that Liza of Motorcycles and Misfits, part of her compensation package for doing what she's doing, because she's going to be hosting she'll be the curator of a motorcycle film festival at Mid-Ohio.
Is it the female one? Or?
I think it is.
Oh, awesome.
Well,
cool.
it's whatever. It's one.
Right.
And that's a reason. And I guess that they're going to play on any Sunday on Friday night on some sort of a big
sweet.
screen.
Yeah,
so
hell
super
yeah.
fucking cool. And so Liza's got a couple of campsites. I don't know how she did this, but she worked her compensation package to include a couple of campsites.
Well done.
So when she texted me the other day and said, "Hey, Phil, I've been compensated by a couple of campsites. Where should I put them?"
Next ours.
And I said, "In Chris's Janus."
Yeah.
That was it. Yes.
There's plenty of room there.
Yeah.
Where's it at? If it was up your ass kicking footballs, you'd know.
Yep.
But I had her put it. I actually Google Earthed. So I Google Earthed the campsite, and I put a yellow arrow to like where we want the campsites to be.
Right.
So we're not going to tell anyone where they are, but they're where they always are.
My first day at my new job, they said, I sat down for the first meeting
Yes.
of 100 meetings I had. And they said, so is there anything that, you perceive causing a problem? I said, well, I need these days off or I cannot work here.
Oh!
And they said, not a problem. And it won't even count toward your vacation time because it was before,
right.
you
It's
started
before you
here.
got hired. Right. Those are what they call conditions of your employment.
Right. But
Right?
I was serious too.
No, I didn't think you were joking.
Right.
Yeah. Like, the phrase, I've got a new job and I can't go to Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
I went to Mid-Ohio and now I need support.
I quit a job once over a rally. I told my boss, I was like, well, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be here for these 3 days.
Right.
And he's like, well, that doesn't work. You've taken enough days off this year.
Yeah,
and I went, well, okay. It's cool.
Thanks for the good times,
That was
buddy.
great, dude. That was cool. That's good.
I was working at Pizza Hut, delivering pizza
Yeah.
and making pizzas. And I had one semester or one quarter to go to get my degree.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I can't work Thursday nights anymore because that's the only night the class is offered. So I have to graduate. And the manager says to me, you're going to sacrifice eventually becoming an assistant manager at Pizza Hut for a college degree. That he was serious. He was totally serious about it.
Give up your career at Pizza Hut?
He was totally serious about it. I'm like, listen, buddy, I've come in, and every time you wanted me to come in, I've worked my ass off for you. I come in at lunch. I would go to class, come home, make all the pizzas at lunch, go back to class, deliver pizzas till midnight, go back to so I was never...
You were living your life one handful of free non-cheese at a time.
Right. And the guy would not let me have one day off a week to finish off my degree.
Do you know
I'll
how
never
good
buy Pizza Hut ever
Do you know how
again.
good marketing is though?
I'm done. We bought Pizza Hut the other day, and it was like $50 for 2 pizzas, and it was like,
What?
This sucks. Fuck
Did you get the
this.
Edge pizza?
I think we got a stuffed crust or something.
Yeah. The Edge pizza is where you almost eat the pizza and then they stop you.
No, but seriously, do you know how good marketing is? People that do marketing.
Yeah.
So when he was doing Pizza Hut,
Yeah.
kale was just around the salad bar as a garnishment.
Oh, that's
at
right.
Pizza Hut.
That's true.
And
Kale
then
was not to be eaten.
marketing got a hold of that shit, and now Kale's like,
that'll save your ass. That's a superfood.
right.
Like the healthiest thing at Pizza Hut was the garnish.
Right, but if you lived in the 80s and 90s, all that shit
I don't know if I
was
should eat this or not.
right.
Try some of it.
Literally, it was the shrapnel around
the
the bowl
salad
of
bar.
ice around the salad bar.
Exactly.
That's what kale was.
Right.
Kale's like eating a porcupine's ass.
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
seriously.
I'm just
Who
saying.
eats that shit?
I'm just-
In a nice place, if you got a burger,
Yeah.
your lettuce, tomato, pickles, and onions was sitting on a slice of kale that
Yes.
you weren't supposed to eat.
Right.
Kale was the subplate.
That's what I'm saying. So they had the vegetable committee get together, and everybody's going around. So carrots, what do you got? Well, we're still carrots, whatever. Tomatoes, we got Bloody
We
Marys,
got a lot.
we got all this. Kale, anything? Well, we're still holding down the Pizza Hut salad bar, but I
Yes.
have ambitions.
Because you're right. What did they sell it for in '83?
Nothing.
Right.
It was
Nothing.
the salad bar
It was
holder.
literally to go around the salad bar. Right.
White women are gonna save our asses.
That's right. Like everything. What do you got? I got skin tight nylon spandex bicycle shorts with no padding in them. What do you got? Yoga pants. We're in.
Celery, anything new?
Lululemon, we're
no, we're still doing Bloody Marys, but
Yes.
it's a fucking strong
Strong
market, so
market.
we're doing
Yeah.
okay. Beats, athletes, we fucking slayed athletes.
Absolutely.
We're doing athletes.
Beets and all of Russia.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's it. Yeah.
Celery has the porno too, like the.
Celery also has ants on a log. Right.
Yeah, it's on a log.
I thought
Right,
beets
so
were for
long.
icy roads.
That's right. There you go. This is true. That's absolutely right.
But Kale nailed
Kale?
it. They
Nah.
had to hire a whole separate marketing
they
team.
needed 40-year-old white women.
Right.
Yeah.
They were like, how can we appeal to white women?
Tell them this will blow out their ass and make them skinny.
Yep.
Yep.
And their boobs bigger.
And their bigs were, Kale! That was it. And it
It's
was
good
all
for
over.
vaginal health.
You know what? Exactly. Because now kale's every goddamn
Yeah,
way.
right.
Yeah, that's it. That's true. Yeah. What do you got there? I got a kale salad. You don't have a kale salad. You don't have a kale salad.
Right.
You've got roughage.
Right.
You've got a way to clean out your rectum.
But back in the day, Pizza Hut threw out fucking 20 pounds of it every week when it got
every
rolled
night.
around the fucking
Every
thing.
night they're
They
like,
probably came
and throw it
free
away.
with their other produce. Here, if you want some of this kale.
Right, exactly. They unrolled it like concertina wire out of the back. They're just like, oh, we got a 400-foot roll of kale.
No, it was packing material.
It was packing material. Yes,
He kept the carrot safe and
Yeah, it
everything
did.
else. Right.
Right. Oh man, I didn't think about that. And that is fucking hilarious.
I didn't think about it until he talked about Pizza Hut, and it just made me remember
Oh,
kale.
that made you realize that. Yeah. Stefan's got a new ice maker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, over at the bar.
Not as loud? We can film there without it going...
Is he open yet?
No, he's not. But they're making major strides.
Does it make the ice tubes, the cubes with the hole through the middle?
Okay, so that was discussed.
Those are the best.
I thought they were the best too, but apparently I was wrong.
You got to have balls.
No, it waters down the drink too much if you have too much
Thank
surface
you.
area.
Exactly. Steve is on it. Steve has nailed it. So there's a whole science behind how much any given type of ice waters the drink down. And everyone think an ice cube as big as your fucking hand, right?
Right.
An ice cube as big as your fist. No, there are applications for that.
Pucks are the ones that
It turns out it's hail. Yeah. He spent legit motorcycle money buying an ice cube maker
That makes hail?
that makes hail. And I'm
Wouldn't
going to
that melt
say
faster? Because it's
no,
sour?
it's amazing. I tried it. You can't kill
super
it.
cold,
It's bulletproof.
probably.
Bulletproof. Like this shit. The best way I can describe the size of this is if you've ever owned a wrist rocket, the BBs that came with your wrist rocket, the glass pellets. The glass pellets were like 10 millimeter.
Unless they
9
broke
millimeter.
and then they cut you like that.
Yeah, well, they cut you just like that. Exactly. So the pellets and the BBs that came in a wrist rocket were 9 millimeter, 10 millimeter, that kind of size. And his ice is that size. And it fills up the glass. There's no wasted space. It's just ice. And then when you put the booze in it, the temperature goes perfect. There's almost no watering down. It's amazing.
And it's just still the same amount of booze?
Yeah, it can be. Depends on the size of the vessel. You schedule the vessel around the size of the amount of alcohol going into it.
Right.
Right.
So they must calculate out the open space in between
Exactly.
every ball.
You got it.
But they're all uniform.
Amazing.
Size.
Amazing. And so I had a cocktail that took me about 10 minutes, and then I had another cocktail that took me about 20 minutes, and I had a cocktail that took about 30 minutes, all on the same ice.
Wow.
I know.
That's impressive.
That's fucking incredible.
So what if they just have like a series of little heads that has a droplet that forms and then it freezes?
Yeah.
Then they knock them off. Then it forms.
I don't know how they make it, but it makes a lot of it.
Now, let me ask you this, since we're talking about ice technology.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So I have a refrigerator that makes ice, and then I bought a bag of ice. Okay.
Those can be the worst cubes, the ones that are the half moon.
Right.
Because you go to drink and the ice cube is sitting right there.
And the
You're
thing,
like,
fuck you.
Choke the shit out of yourself, man.
But what I was getting at is that
No, you drink off the points of the cubes, man. Turn the glass.
Turn the glass.
Do you think that city water and shit like that, Steve, you might know this. So do you think city water has enough shit in it to cause ice to melt faster than, because the ice I bought that was in like a bag of ice, right? Like 5 cubes of that ice lasted about a half an hour longer than my fucking ice that came out of my ice maker in my fucking refrigerator. Would it be like?
I would think that it depends on where the ice is made, because they're using city water to make ice.
Yeah.
But they probably have filters. Most ice machines have a filter on it that might take some stuff out. But I don't know.
You think?
My
Custom-made stuff.
ice is RO water, so it has no. I mean, I take out everything and then I make ice out of
Handmade
reverse
cubes.
osmosis.
So
water.
do you think? So I have a Berkey water filter that we use, just like like the whole. It's a big thing with the 2 carbon, the whole fucking gig. Should I make ice out of that? Would that last longer?
It tastes better when you're making a drink. I can tell you, it doesn't impart flavor to it. But I mean, and then in the fall, I mean, the problem is that like the closer you get, like in the summer now, there's higher solids. I mean, they keep on adding more and more chemicals in the drinking water to take out the taste and odor. So now you're getting carbon in there, and you're
By
getting
adding
more
odor and taste in chlorine. I mean, it's
No, yeah, well, I mean, but unfortunately, they add more chlorine too.
Oh.
Because the organic content of the water goes up. But
Big question. So like one of the people I met today at my new job, she's a fucking genius. Like she has a master's degree in horticulture and all this stuff. She said the best thing that you can do for your plants in your garden or whatever else you're growing is to take out chlorine. So like if I have tap water, how do you get chlorine out of your
just
tap?
let it sit.
Effervesce, it'll effervesce out.
Right.
But you still will have that's free chlorine will leave, but you'll still have consumed chlorine depending on how much organic material.
So how
is
can
in
you
the water.
filter the chlorine out?
carbon filter.
Oh, so
charcoal
I
filter.
could probably use the Berkey thing and just use that water. Then is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to take the chlorine out of water to make beer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You could distill your water.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. I'm finding out that my new job has a lot of benefits for my hobbies.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? At first, I was like, he's going to be working at what? A greenhouse? Get the fuck out of here. You're kidding me, right?
I would have never thought it grew anything but.
I know.
But apparently,
I would have legitimately thought, like, wait a second.
this is his dream job.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So check this out.
He
So
was made for this.
this person that I talked to that is a fucking genius, right?
Right.
She turned down $1.5 million a year to work in Colorado for many of the other greenhouses that might exist there.
Because fun stuff.
The fun
Real
stuff.
greenhouse.
Because she was
Devil's
worried.
lettuce.
She was worried that it's not federally legal, and
Correct.
she didn't want to do 25 years to
advance her horticulture lifestyle.
because she's like she's world known for controlling spider mites, which is a huge deal
Yes,
in
it is.
Colorado.
Absolutely,
right?
it is. You bet your ass
But
it
she
is.
didn't want to take the position because of that, and I'm like, that I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, you're not going to be the person that goes down.
I watched Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
You can't have spider mites.
No, bad.
I know
bad.
all about that. That's how fucking Bubbles lost his shit.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
How do you control Japanese beetles?
I don't know. Do they exist anymore?
When I was a kid, we had Vagabugs.
That's
Yeah, I was going to say.
we were just,
Vagabug.
me and my wife just talked about this.
Vagabugs.
Everybody used to have those, the yellow tops with the
Everywhere.
bags
Yeah.
everywhere. They're nowhere anymore.
Bags of
Well,
bugs.
apparently they were decimated.
There's
by
a ton of Japanese beetles on the west side of town.
Oh, really?
They don't go to the east side.
All right.
There's probably a delicacy over there.
When they get shot.
They get shot. You know what? I heard all the Japanese beetles went away. What happened? They went east.
Right.
What happened? What happens when you go east? You get shot. Everybody knows that.
One of the reasons that we might be moving is that, so my friend is working on my kitchen. He's my buddy, and he's working on my kitchen, and he's there during the day. My wife was there. And apparently our house got shot when I was at work.
Oh, you found a bullet?
Well, he heard a bang and a bunch of debris fell off my house, and we don't know where it came from, and it's just like weird.
I have my friends who live in Canada contacting us on various different social media platforms going, hey, just checking in with my friends from Cleveland, making sure okay. And I'm like, what the fuck? No hurricanes here ever. No tornadoes hardly ever.
No wildfires.
No tsunamis or wildfires ever.
Or
this
lava.
is the Midwest.
Right.
Nothing. Right. We don't have a problem. No firefighters. No fucking, what do they call this? Mudslides.
Right.
None of that hits us ever.
Nope.
He checks in. He's like, oh, I heard there was a shooting last night. 11 people. And I was like, that sounds like a Wednesday. On the east side of Cleveland, that is not a reason to contact people from Cleveland and see if they're okay.
Well, and the problem was it was the 4th of July, obviously, last weekend. So that was free range for people with guns.
I think actually that weekend, like 150 people got shot, 11 people died, and four of them were kids.
Yeah.
Something like that.
To tell you how crazy the city of Cleveland is and adjacent suburban areas.
Did you guys see my aerial video I took from my front yard?
Yeah.
It looked like fucking Baghdad.
It did.
It was
amazing.
Last year was better, but this year was pretty good.
This year was pretty good.
I mean, we had fun.
So the police cars are traversing my neighborhood on the 4th of July, Sunday night, as you do. And they're traversing the neighborhood. And where I live is the west side suburbs, adjacent to the lake, which means all the people that have houses that go out over the lake.
You live in an area where yes starts with an M.
Yeah.
Yes.
When white people flew, that's where they flew.
That's where they landed.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We are the landing point of white flight. Yeah. All this area that used to be, basically acreage. Tillage. We have a lot of wineries.
Right.
And
now they build a huge project and they have 2 rows of grapevines.
2 rows.
And they say that it's a winery.
Yeah. Like this is Avon Reserve. And you're like, Avon Reserve. I got more fucking grapes than that growing up against my neighbor's fence.
You see a wino holding grapes, you're like, dude, you gotta wait.
Yes. You gotta wait.
Sorry, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, that is a good joke.
Yeah.
And so this year the police cruisers are going kind of up and down the street, and we're just walking down the lake because we like to go down the lake, maybe put the boat in or something.
Beautiful.
By boat, I mean plastic canoe. So we're going to go paddle around a bit or whatever. And I'm like, there's $9 million worth of explosives going off in my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And the cops are just kind of like,
well, isn't it legal now, though?
I have no idea.
I think in Ohio,
it hasn't been signed yet.
Yeah. So
it's gone through the legislature, and they said even if they sign it, it's going to be 351 days before it's legal for you to light off.
But perception is everything. And the 2 gentlemen in this tax collector's vehicle were all about letting us know that it was game on. But then they said, now this is the 4th of July. The 5th of July is another story. I did not hear one siren the entire 4th of July in my neighborhood, which is interesting considering people are blowing each other up all the time because my people out there can afford really big fireworks.
Right.
But no, not a single siren. Merritt and I were shocked. It sounded like Beirut, but no sirens. However, on the 5th, at about 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., still bright out, light out, somebody was like, look what I found. We didn't burn these.
We need to fizz it.
Yeah. Pippity, pippity, pop, pop, pop. Whip, whip, whip. Then at 8 p.m., pippity, pippity, pop down there. Whip, whip, whip. 9:30 p.m., it's full-on grown-ass dark outside.
Right.
Somebody lights off the last $48 of their display.
Right.
SWAT team.
Oh, sure.
They took them down.
Can I tell you about the 3rd? So the 3rd, I asked John and these guys, I'm like, we're going to meet? And he's like, yeah, well, cool. So I was like, fuck, I didn't buy anything. I'm an idiot. So I planned, because I was on my bike, I'm like, I'm planning this nice route. So I went down to West Salem, down to Phantom Fireworks.
Some sparklers.
Well, no, so I got there. And I grabbed
some steaks.
Yeah, well, no, I grabbed
only the good stuff.
He didn't even have the buy one, get one free coupon.
I didn't. I'm an idiot.
It's buy one, buy two if you have a pulse.
I know, but they didn't have enough. But anyways, I grabbed some bottle rockets and things, whatever, and I pile it up. And so mine was like $175 for like this little pile of shit, right?
Should have been $38.
But the dudes behind me, these dudes that you're looking at them and you're like, you're on food stamps.
Yes.
It's not. I'm not talking color, skin, nothing. I'm talking like just you can tell, right?
They'd won the Meth Olympics.
Yes.
Right.
And these motherfuckers had like, you know, the Home Depot fucking pallet jacks?
Yeah.
They were just piling shit on.
Right.
And I look at the boxes and I look at the wall and
It's
one
like
of
a
those
$200 box.
$460. These
Stimulus
things
checks.
Yeah. Like the one guy's bill in front of me was $4,900 between two guys. He had 2 pallets of shit.
Yeah.
So next year, my plan is, and we should all do this, is we're gonna go sit there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go and buy like a pack of snakes, and we're gonna watch that guy and be like, "What's your address?" And I'm going to his house to fucking do this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we didn't have fun, and we blew up a lot of shit.
Right.
But it was not what those guys fucking blew up.
No,
it was seriously $4,600 between two guys. And the lady, she tried to justify it. She's like, "Well, that's 2 families. They're splitting it." Okay,
again,
that's still $2,300.
That would have put 4 of their offspring through college.
Right.
I'd rather.
But instead, they got 93 minutes of glory.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd rather burn $4,000 worth of gasoline.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
It would be more
Do you know
fun.
what makes a better fireball than $50 worth of gas? Nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Or one barn with one acetylene
No,
tank.
we had fun. we had a good fucking time. I'll tell you that.
I think the barn was about 5, maybe 15 gallons of gas and 1 tank of acetylene.
Yeah.
Easily 20.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah, no shit. That
So
was
did
amazing.
your daughter say anything about us all acting like morons?
No, thanks.
Because she enjoyed herself. I think.
She's been well conditioned.
She knows
used to
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
She's well conditioned. She knows where the Band-Aids are.
She's over there whittling.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah. We would give her, we'd give her some stuff like, like a Ziggy or like whatever, and she'd light that. She's like, yeah, that was great. And then go back to whittling, and doing her thing. We're
she was playing
squealing.
tunes for her. She's playing some heavy
gorillas and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she was DJ.
But she was watching us, and like me and Dan were straight up 12-year-olds lighting each other on fire and throwing and then John's shooting shit at us, and it's fucking great, man.
Right on, man. That's cool. That's a good night
That
out.
was a good fucking night.
That's
man.
a good night out. I love that shit. I'm stocking up now for my things that I shouldn't be bringing to Mid-Ohio.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have a nice
I've got plenty left.
box full of stuff that shouldn't come to Mid-Ohio.
It won't be launched from our campsite.
No. No, very remote. Cigarette fuse.
Not a ramp, not our launch site.
Not a ramp. Right. Not a fucking ramp. Not a fucking launch site. No, sir. Not grain. Alcohol.
We should make a banner that says like Teetotalers United or something.
Yeah. Leave us alone. We're sober. Yeah. It's those assholes. Just one of them big fingers that just says it's them.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys. Why are you bothering us? They're the ones
Bill
with the
W
heroin.
was here.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So Liza's gonna get there whenever she gets. I think we're picking her up at the airport maybe Thursday morning. So I'm gonna go down there Wednesday night and.
I'm with you. I'm off.
Cool.
I'll be
We'll
wherever
lock
you
some
need.
else
shit
is
down.
coming?
What's that?
Who else is coming?
Liza, I think Knock, I think Miss Emma.
Any bagelage or no?
I don't know. I think Bagel's riding cross country.
Oh,
No shit.
wow.
I
On a
think he
Vespa?
has. Yeah,
Again?
he did it last time.
Again?
Again, exactly.
Was that a cannonball year?
I think there's a cannonball going on this
Yeah,
year.
there is right now. Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, I think the cannonball starts next week sometime. So, but yeah, that's like when you think about how much pent-up hostility there is and how much pent-up rage and how much pent-up fucking desire to sell and fuck with old motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Plus, you got 2 years of swap shop waiting to just dump on people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got trailers full of garbage. Like, you're not going to be able to
Excellent, but
find...
you mean excellent motorcycle.
You're not going to be able to find a U-Haul anywhere near Mid-Ohio.
Right.
Yeah, that's going on for sure. So, yeah, their scooter cannonball is July 12th through the 21st.
Oh.
Which... it's going to be over by the time
You should just
Mid-Ohio
roll
hits.
in.
They're going from Bar Harbor, Maine to Eureka, California.
Oh, wrong way.
They are. Yeah. They're going the wrong way
So
entirely.
Bagel's probably riding to Maine and then fucking going back just to fucking say fuck
Just
you.
to say fuck you, right? Exactly. He's done the cannonball enough. He doesn't have to prove himself to anybody.
Right.
Bagel's a fucking god. So yeah, that's beautiful. There's a ton of people too. I mean, there are a ton. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are signed up for the scooter cannonball. I mean, the list is like, I don't know. It's like 100 fucking people. That's way too many people. That's like herding cats.
Yeah, but what's the what do you call it? The attrition rate.
A lot.
Yeah, who's gonna
super high?
Right.
Like 5 people will make it. Yeah, that's it.
Right.
I mean, I've participated in these things before.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of like, I got one guy who's doing it on a Bajaj.
So he's making it 300 miles,
Yeah.
maybe.
He's gonna ride a Bajaj from like 2002. Here's the tip: your voltage regulator's already burned out.
Right.
Your flywheel's going to separate from your crank in about 11 minutes.
Cylinder head.
Gone.
Done.
You're done. Right. And you know what? Then while you're putting it on the center stand, you're going to back the taillight into the wall, and you're going to crack that shit too. And then all the parts that are unobtainium are all going to be broken on your one bike.
Right.
Go home early.
Yeah.
But don't forget to get your towing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't forget your AAA goddamn RV, motherfucker. Yeah. No shit. Don't mess around with that stuff. But I am looking at the number of people that are doing this, and what's crazy is a lot of people are coming from like the West Coast.
Really?
So they got to go to the East Coast, Maine, to start this thing.
Well, one way or another, you're fucked. If you live in Maine, you're great, but you're going to end up on that.
You're going to come home, right?
You're going to come
Exactly.
home. So.
But at least you can buy a plane ticket to get home.
Oh, just get rid of your bike. Yeah.
Or ship it. You ship.
Fuck it.
There's
$250
nothing left, dude. There's nothing left. You know, I mean, you're going to ride a Bajaj cross country.
No,
what are you going to ship back? An envelope?
Well, they're not going to make. They're not going to make it
Ship
cross
back
country.
a fucking title. Yeah, that is not going to happen. There's a guy named Lou Bob. That's Lou Bob from Cleveland. He got his motorcycle license on a '62 Lambretta 3-wheeler.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, right.
I don't know what that is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's called Lambro.
Okay.
That was a Lambretta 3-wheeler. Yeah.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah. But anyway, he's got a bunch of stuff, and it looks like he's planning on doing the adventure on a Honda Forza 300. We just did tires for him recently.
That'll work.
He
That'll
brought the
probably
bike
make
by,
it.
and that's what I'm saying too. A Honda Forza 300, safe bet.
Yep.
They actually have handicaps, which is really funny. That if you go to scootercannonballrun.com, they actually handicap you.
Honda negative 1,000.
It's a 123%.
Yeah.
So 123.06%, which is basically don't bet on this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you're going to lose money if it wins. So yeah, so he's so that's his game. But he's going to do that. But he's like I've done many 300-mile days, so this is a significant challenge. Why not on a scooter? And it is funny. He said, he's had Buells, he's had Harley Davidsons, he had Beamers, he had Gootsies, like all that stuff. And he's like, it's his last chance to go coast to coast. I've never, ever said it was my last chance to do anything. Like, even when I saw Joe Strummer, I didn't know it was my last chance to see Joe Strummer.
One of the things, and you know this from the military,
Yeah.
and I don't from the military, but people have told me, as a parachuter, you never say, this is going to be my last jump for the day.
No. No, if you're a downhill skier,
Yeah.
it's never your last run.
right.
It's always your second to last run.
Right.
I think this is our second last run today. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you guys going? Home.
Yeah.
Why? It's the last run that kills you.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Yep.
Right. We're just going to take one more lap of the fucking barrel races.
Nope.
No, you're not.
Nope.
Nah, one more lap?
I'm taking a break for a little while.
You're leaving in a fucking ambulance. Yeah, we know how that works. Fuck you. You're going to get hurt. But yeah, so that's it. So day one, they're going from Bar Harbor to Manchester, Vermont. Day two, Manchester, Vermont to Grove City, PA, downtown GC. Right? I know you've been there many times.
That's weird that's what they've picked, Grove City, PA.
It gets better. They're going from Grove City, PA to Traverse City, Michigan, and skipping Cleveland entirely. They're going through Medina.
That's a long haul, too.
Yeah.
Day three, you might want to have a tire. Other cannonballs figured that out.
We don't want them anyway, so.
We don't. I'm fine with them. I'll support all these crazy cannonballers.
Yeah, so Traverse City to what?
So Traverse City, then to Marshfield, Wisconsin.
So they're going through the UP?
They are all the way to the top of the motherfucking. They're going straight up. They're doing Michigan all the way to the top.
On 75,
the map is fierce. And then they're doing Huron, South Dakota to Hot Springs. They're all staying in South Dakota at day 6.
Hot Springs is fun.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hot Springs, South Dakota to Rock Springs, Wyoming. That'll be a painful day. And then Rock Springs, Wyoming to Delta, Utah.
Not fun there.
Yeah, that's rough. Delta to Fernley, Nevada. Way to skip all the fun.
Yeah.
And then going from Fernley, Nevada to Eureka, California.
This was clearly just places where somebody lived, and you could stop. You guys can come crash in my backyard.
I kind of think so.
You nailed it. That's a good. They
have 86 registered riders on this event, right? So, that's a pretty big deal. 86.
Do they have a sag wagon at all or nothing?
I'm sure they have something. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that there's a lot going on in the way of support. But what I can assure you, and this is the one thing I'm going to tell you, is when I tend to figure out where I'm going to go spend 11 days of my life.
It's not in those places.
It's not in any of those places.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, and I will pick places in between those places that are sexy and fun.
Right.
And they've managed to suck all the sexy and fun out of this trip.
So
Yeah.
Smith, now that you're back from your 40, are you ready to ride?
Speaking of sexy and fun,
Right. Yeah, Smith. So after your big ride, are you ready to get back on and do some Sunday riding, or are you done for a little bit?
No, all right, absolutely.
Really? You're all back? Oh, excellent. Good, good. I didn't know if that was going to take it out of you for a while or something. Or... Damn, you're a beast, man.
He's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's, I think that's,
I can tell the beard and everything you're changing. You're like a leading man now. Look at him. He's all fucking sexy over there.
What I think
Thank
is,
you.
yeah, I think that the idea of Chris, he's gone out there. He's been like, I've achieved that. I have I've conquered that shit.
Yep.
So what's next? What you got for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a feeling there's a lot of that. Fuck it, drive on.
Right.
Yeah. We used to call it in the Army. It's called Fido.
So we started early, and John's over here falling asleep still.
I
It's
know.
like 7:30.
I want to know what happens
whoa,
where they
whoa,
work.
whoa. I yawned a little bit. I'm not falling asleep.
I want to know what
I
happens
was
where
going
they
to
work.
comment that
Yeah.
this could be the first podcast that Steve or I, neither one of us falls asleep.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
This is good. This
Don't
is working
fucking
out.
shoot me with a goddamn
goddamn
fucking-
rubber bands.
I didn't do anything. Wasn't me.
So we got the Nighthawk. I got a Nighthawk 250 from Mid-Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got it all dialed in. Very happy about that.
Nice, nice.
It's fucking loads of fun.
Are we taking the SSRs?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, just making sure.
Wait a second. How the fuck could we go to Mid-Ohio?
Right, no, I'm just...
Potentially Mud-Ohio.
Right.
And not take a fucking grip of SSRs.
Well, we have to.
I know we have
So we
to.
got to figure that out. We got to get those loaded up
Oh, there's a
beforehand.
fuck a lot of figuring it out.
Do you know how those bikes got there?
In
One
your
pickup
big
truck.
truck.
In the back of one red pickup truck. Do you know how they're getting to Mid-Ohio? In the back of one red pickup truck.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
because I know you have so
We
much
need
shit
just
to
drivers,
take. So
people
yeah.
just to drive vehicles.
There will be. Yeah. That'll happen. You know, there'll be all kinds of like,
Right.
you know, this truck needs to get there.
Right.
Right.
So we have to have. We have to
Hey,
have.
Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We need a street tag.
And then we'll have a bus coming back, a shuttle bus coming back from Mid-Ohio after 8 of my vehicles get left at Mid-Ohio. Yeah. Yeah.
But we do need a strategic planning mission day or something.
There is.
Yeah.
We'll have one.
All right, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
We still haven't fixed half the shit we're planning on taking down there.
I gotta put a fuel pump on my RV. I'm like, oh, I gotta get it out of fucking mud hole.
Yeah,
Shitsville.
J-Town.
There's
J-Town.
yeah. I mean, conservatively speaking, there are 23 balls in the air at this point.
Right.
And I am a two-handed ball juggler.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. We're a long way from arrival. And honestly, we're going to arrive there with 70% less running bikes than we thought we would. Guaranteed. Every year. Every year we're like, we'll have all these running by the time we get there. And then
Right.
we get there and we work on shit. And then by Sunday, some of them are running.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, you know, that's just the way it works.
And some ladies don't listen when you say it's not running.
Look.
They still buy it.
We're fine.
Yeah.
We're okay. We're totally okay. I found 4 or 5 bikes in the building here.
Yeah.
I'm like Mid-Ohio, 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 Mid-Ohio. And James is like, really? And I'm like, Mid-Ohio, Mid-Ohio. Yeah. I mean, like, and James is like, are you sure? I'm like, Mid-Ohio. I'm like, that's it. Mid-Ohio is the broken boomerang.
Right.
The shit don't come back. Yeah. Mid-Ohio. It's just fuck.
It's got a yellow rubber band on the mirror.
Yep. Oh, fuck it. Get it out of here. Yeah, that's it. Get it out. Just get it out of here.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't sell, we'll leave it by some recycling barrels with the key in the ignition. Apparently, that's how you make motor scooters go away. Fuck yeah.
With the title.
With the title, hanging out of the fucking glove box. Yeah. Fuck that shit, man. Yeah. Because there's some stuff I need to get rid of.
Right.
Just to feel like a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looking around today, we could hardly move the table in
Yeah.
here to do the podcast.
Oh, I've had a metric shit ton of bikes come in.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean 4 AK550s.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're big bikes.
If you wanted to, you could literally take a tractor trailer load down there.
Easy. There's no doubt. Instead, we're going to take 3 U-Haul trailer loads down there. And my only question right now is, do we do enclosed? Because you can sleep in them.
Yeah.
So an enclosed U-Haul trailer for 4 days is still cheap, but that's a bunkhouse for like 6 people.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. If we do it open, they're very easy to load. So like an open U-Haul trailer is very easy. You throw the
U-Haul
bikes
truck
on,
with an open
strappy,
trailer behind it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, strappy, tighty, whatever. Oh yeah, the U-Haul truck is like a mobile bunkhouse.
Right.
It's like an RV with no windows.
Right.
Even better.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea. Like, I want to go to the bathroom. You know, roll up the roll-up door. Everybody's angry at you. Yeah, that's cool.
But it's hot enough. You should just get. They have those magnetic bug doors.
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
put it
yeah.
on the
Just
back.
a
and then
magnetic bug screen.
Yeah, right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Just leave it open.
Then just piss through the bug screen.
That's right. Whiz right through the bug screen. Yeah. Hopefully it's not chunky. It's good to go. You're fine. You're fine. You'll be good. Anything's better than that.
The Velcro won't be
It's
a
gonna
problem
leave a
if you've been using your Manscaped.
That's right.
I don't think they'll notice if there's a little hole in the floor. Funnel.
You wake up and Hoffert's just stuck to the fucking middle of it.
I'm sure the people at U-Haul have seen some weird shit come back. Yeah. Yep. I think that's a very good plan.
Sir,
I love all that. That's so fucking cool. Yeah.
It seems like you have a hedgehog stuck in the middle of your fucking thing.
And that ain't wrong. Yeah. It's a fucking hedgehog. Sure. We had one email I wanted to read just because I thought it'd be fun.
Everyone?
You know what?
missing
It's not angry. It's not angry. It's fair. I mean, it's not.
I missed a new email from our Swedish buddy that sent us the last email.
Oh,
That
did he
was
send a new
awesome.
one?
No, I'm saying
I
I
didn't
missed
think
it.
he
I was
did.
kind of bummed. He's like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he sent us one. Okay. Hey, remember last
Swedish.
week we talked about the Moto GP, the Grand Prix of the Americas?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember we talked about where was it going to be held?
Texas.
COTA.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Course of the Americas.
Course of the Americas. And we told you that they hadn't released the price for the tickets yet.
Yep.
That's right. They hadn't released the price of the tickets yet. Well, they have released the price for the tickets.
Are they $7?
They are slightly more than that. Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's right. At the 2021 Moto GP Grand Prix of the Americas,
Yep.
you can get a weekend pass for the low starting price of just $11.99. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's move.
Where's the decimal point on
It
that?
keeps going. That's right. That's $1,199 per person.
It's cheaper to go to the TT at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Does that include airfare?
No. Does that
We go
include
to the TT bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. $1,200 per person.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember which comic it was in the 80s, but he was like, so I did some math and I figured it out. I could sell out this stadium, 5,000 seats for $5 a ticket,
Right.
$25,000. Or I could charge you $500 per ticket at $5,000
Right.
per seat, $25 million. One show, farewell.
Well, they're trying to keep.
And that's exactly what's happening here. Like,
yeah. They want to keep the code. Like they want to keep the non-vaccinated out.
I don't think that's the case.
Why, non-vaccinated people don't have money?
I think it's that. I think it's that they
I'm
know.
saying they're going to space them out so the people that aren't vaccinated are next to
I was thinking that. I was going to say that since the polo ponies and shit like that, and the helicopter races and all the other expensive things that exist on the fucking planet, right, haven't happened.
Right.
All the people with absurdly conspicuous wealth haven't had anything to do.
Right.
And so since they haven't been able to go visit their mistress on fucking, San Croix or whatever, right?
Catalina Island.
Which are two of the places you can actually go. But anyway, $1,199 per person. Away we go. So there you go. So that's it. Yay! So that's what that is.
So if anybody wants a podcast,
So who all wants to go?
well, that's what I'm saying. what we're saying is if anybody wants a podcast from this race,
Yeah.
just buy us some tickets, man. We'll be happy to go down and report live from Circuit of America.
I mean, seriously, maybe they do have press passes.
Yeah. Let's look into it.
Look, if they have that, they have press passes. If we
Sure.
wanted to get them, I'm sure I could write a compelling enough argument.
Yep.
Because we're sponsored by Manscaped. That's right. So if we're sponsored by Manscaped, that makes us the same as the Joe Rogan podcast.
That's basically
and I bet
it.
you he's not calling to get tickets.
We still need a whiskey sponsor, though. That's what we
We
need.
can work on that.
Cleveland whiskey, step up, motherfuckers. Like you're a part of our
No,
we
we
city.
have-
want
right.
Western Reserve's way
Nope.
better.
Well, okay. I'm just saying from our city. I'm just working.
Oh,
on
you want to
that.
try to keep it local?
I don't
Yeah,
want fake ass whiskey that was made through some vacuum cryo.
Tom's Foolery.
Tom's foolery, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
Dan,
even
work
better.
on it. Dan, you're the guy to work on this. You have relationships with the whiskey
Yeah,
guys.
my buddy who used to work there is long gone.
And they could have tens of listeners.
Tens.
Tens.
Maybe 20
Tens
if
of
they're lucky.
listeners.
Right.
Tens of goddamn listeners, right? And they would have all of them right now. It'd be great. But yeah, so I just thought I would bring that up real quick. We are Patreon supported. In case you were thinking that we get all of our money from Manscaped.
Did
any of that yet?
our microphone donor get his AK 500?
Oh, he's about to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think
All
we're
right.
doing next week?
Oh, he's coming in?
Oh, he don't know it yet. He doesn't know it's here yet.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, and I mean, Chris has been like, and by the time this drops, see,
I'll
see
do
what
it
I'm
early.
doing?
It'll come out Tuesday.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter
All right.
because he was so gracious. You know what, man? If anyone else needs a bike, you can give them mine.
Right.
What color do I don't care as long as it's there.
Did you give him a special one?
Whatever. I prepped it myself.
As long as it's gray or light gray.
Thank you. As long as it's gray or a slightly satin or shade of gray.
Send me his name,
Yeah.
and I'll cut some vinyl graphics for
I
you,
was
so
thinking
it'll
about
be all
just
nice.
having him here.
Well, that too, but we can have
bringing him in.
We'll make his bike his own personalized with his name on it.
Yeah,
and
that's a
stuff.
good
Yeah,
idea. Oh yeah, I like that. It's very fucking cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Super nice. Anyway, but that's the name of the game. But his bike is here now. So he'll be very happy to have it. And then
Oh, that
this
makes
is the
me
perfect
happy.
time for us to invite him in
Yep.
and get him in here so we can be like, dun, dun,
And next week his bike can be here,
Yeah.
and he can be right there.
Right on,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
You know that zero right over there matches it. You might have to get them both.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Look at
They
the
are
color.
very
Like, it's
complimentary.
like a
Yeah.
perfect color.
It's space gray is the color here. That's space gray.
Is that
right?
Bezos gray?
That's space gray. Right? And then the other one is
Mako blue.
silver crystal, matte silver crystal is the other one, which is confusing because there's no silver in it.
Right.
Yeah, matte silver crystal, which is this, it's just flat. Gray.
I was at a club one time, and there was a girl called Matt Silver.
Matte silver crystal? No, she told you she was a girl.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Because his real name was Matt Silver Crystal Meth.
Wait, listen. I met Matt Silver Crystal in a bar in L.A. I knew she was a man, but I wasn't sure if she was.
Anyway, Matt Silver Crystal.
TTL Crystal.
That's it. That's how it goes, man. That is exactly how it heads. And that's why we're the worst podcast on radio. Ta-da! Sing-alongs. 1 star. Would not recommend.
Excuse me, one trash can.
1 trash can.
That was very entertaining.
The
So
number-
I'm giving it a 3.
Oh
3 trash cans.
no! Super entertaining.
That is
3
super
stars.
entertaining. 3 stars. Best I ever could have hoped for. 3 stars. But back to our
Punching
Patreon.
above their weight.
Way above their weight. Yeah, way above. What I did want to say though is we do still have Patreon.
Yeah.
So if you guys do want to contribute to this in some way that isn't too amazing Shure microphones, I mean, now the bar's been set.
Right.
Now
But
the
also,
person's
if you want more disruptiveness at Mid Ohio,
Yes.
or
Yes.
anything else at this
Yeah,
point,
exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
whatever happened to the dude who sent us pictures of his girlfriend?
oh yeah,
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
Just a shout out to you, bro.
Oh, we don't know who you're with now, but just saying.
We're
Right,
still
right.
accepting submissions.
Yeah, we're always accepting. That's ClevelandMoto@gmail.com.
right. And
We
it's-
also accept used panties.
Right. And if you're a Patreon Party Club member, then you will have this secret number with which you can use to text us strange things.
right, but not your Manscaped pictures.
No,
Because Phil has
no.
turned away several of those. I've heard.
Okay, let's be clear. 2 of those weren't people. I'm going to be very fucking clear. That shit was funny. I get it. The joke is good. But there's no way you can tell me your dog gave consent. Dogs can't give consent. Just because he doesn't run away or you put peanut butter on you does not mean that the dog gave consent. Bullshit. No, I can't publish it because that's like cruelty to animals on
Right,
some level.
right.
Now, it was artistic. Yeah. And to the credit of the artist, that dog wasn't nicked.
Nope.
No blood,
Nope.
but just clean.
Clean. Yeah.
Clean.
Terrible.
Clean. And
It could have been on a Mac counter.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Cleanest shave job I've ever seen in my life. But I can't put that out there because there is no way in the world you could tell me that dog gave consent.
Right.
The other one, not sure of the species. It was a part of an animal that I can assume was a dick area, like a groin related. But it could have been.
I think it was the waitress from Smedley's.
Shit, I did not actually go there. I thought it was a pig. I really thought it was a pig because I could see a nipple, like an edge of a nipple. So I thought it was a pig. But in retrospect, could have been the waitress. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Anyway, back to that. But anyway, we're not putting that shit up. So stop sending it.
No,
if you're
please.
a Patreon member and you've joined at that level and you have the party line membership, you have access to our phone number that sends us horrible things, or you want to send us things we can read on the podcast. Quit it with the pictures of shaved animals.
Right.
I don't know why you would do that.
I say they paid the money; they can send it to you. We're not
Okay,
gonna
fair
look at
enough. They did.
Well, there were
but I'm not
three-
going to publish it.
there
There's
were
no
three-
way I'm going to jail for that shit.
There were 3 shaved beavers, but they were just not what we wanted to see. They were definitely not. No.
it. I wanted to see it.
Okay.
No, not these. Not these.
All
No,
right,
no.
fair enough. So anyway, but we'll go back to that. Anybody else got anything else? Anything exciting? Did you ride anything this week that didn't suck?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. I've been riding the Leoncino,
Oh,
the Benelli Leoncino 500.
it's a good looking bike.
I have started loving it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is not a little motorcycle. That's what I have to clarify for people who weren't sure what the fuck that motorcycle was all about. And as much as I hated the little lion on the front fender, the little
It grew on you.
I love it now. I actually like it. And enough people have
500, right?
Yeah, it's 500.
Yeah.
It's a 500 twin. And enough people have seen it, been like, oh, that's cool. It's a good looking bike and whatever. And the lighting is fantastic. It's a good bike. But it is taller. So that's something to consider. It is not a low bike. It is. We had an NC 700X outside.
Oh, yeah.
So I went back and forth between the NC 700X and the Leoncino. And the Leoncino is a little taller.
Well, and also that bike is so slow and awful.
Well,
We know that. Both of
the
us.
Leoncino is happy. The Leoncino is
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
a happy 500. So I give it credit. The brakes are fucking amazing. The brakes are so good.
I don't consider it awful.
No, it's not
just
awful.
Utilitarian.
It's just,
It's utilitarian.
It's a tractor.
It's a very utilitarian bike.
It's like, do I want to drive
It's
my
like a
John Deere
Skoda.
to work
Yeah.
or the NC 700?
There's you know that the Himalaya has been raised to a 420 cc's
Right.
thing, right? And we had one in here.
That should make all the difference.
oh,
fuck.
oh.
Oh man. Go
As I
ahead.
came here today,
Yeah.
passing the Triumph dealership
Yeah.
that's right down the street,
Yeah.
in their window,
Yeah.
they have a Ducati and
Yeah.
2 Himalayas,
Yeah.
but no Triumphs.
Right.
But they're a Triumph dealer.
Guess what's getting traded in? Ducatis and 2 Himalayas. Exactly. Yeah, I had a guy call here to the shop the other day. He's like, yeah, I got a 17 Ducati with some noise coming out of the motor. Can you guys work on it? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, but, the Ducati dealer closed. And I went, yeah, before you bought your bike. So what
Right.
were you thinking?
Right.
Oh, I'm going to go out and buy a Ducati when the only place that works on them is closed.
Right.
So, yeah, for real, that was an easy one for me to let get past the plate. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let your Ducati come into my shop that's making mysterious motor noises and the bike is like literally 3 years old.
Right.
No. I'm not going to. No, that's not coming in here.
Right.
No. We've had to learn this year. There's so much work. There's so many bikes that need to be serviced. We have got to be selective.
I'm sure.
There's no way. The Triumph dealer down the street is down to one mechanic. One mechanic.
Looks like they're down to 1 Triumph as well.
They might be. Yeah, exactly. They had to call the Royal Enfield and get support for
Right.
trade-ins
Right.
because apparently Himalayas are the gateway drug to buying a Triumph.
Right.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, it could very well be. So
Yeah,
that's
he
the
doesn't
thing.
have one. He has like 5 Ducatis in that
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's nuts.
So all the Ducatis that got sold 5 minutes before the dealership closed, that are all coming up on a 10,000 mile valve adjustment that nobody will do,
Are over there.
are all right now being traded in for like. Oh yeah, it's a 2018. It's got 10,000 miles on it. What do you give me for it? Box of donuts
Yeah.
and a Taco Bell. That's it. Yeah. Because what? I mean, I don't know of anybody in our town who is going to work on that motorcycle.
And that's a coupon to Taco Bell.
Coupon to Taco Bell. That's a buy one get one at Taco Bell. And Taco Bell's in the same parking lot with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm going to say
Good for 5 minutes.
Right.
Go now.
if you say like I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to go to Cleveland where their Ducati dealership just closed. I'm going to open a Ducati dealership that only does service.
Right.
You'll be out of business in 11 minutes because the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to realize that a lot of that shit is warranty service.
Right.
And you can't write it in. You can't fulfill a warranty claim.
Right.
And you don't have the shit you need to do the work on the bikes. So there you go. It's a orphan market.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bad spot to be in right now. I would not want to be the guy holding a lot of Ducati inventory at this particular moment.
Right.
unless you bought it for $850 for a Panigale.
Or if you have like 2 pounds of Coke and you want the people from Ducati to come to your
place, right?
Yeah,
that could
then
be
they
a thing
might do
too.
it.
They didn't. The Fed didn't break in and arrest them all.
Oh, okay.
For fancy bookkeeping.
Few got out.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think the Fed went and busted Ducati North America just for like excessive use of the color red. There's a reason those people got arrested in the middle of the night.
Right.
And I got to think it was due to some really strategic bookkeeping techniques.
They're speed dialed to Charlie Sheen.
Yes, exactly. So what exactly is this Form 1148 you've submitted? Consumables. Her name's Brittany, and she works at the Velvet.
Yeah. Ducati clutches take a special powder to
yes, they do.
operate
There's a special lubricant for the mechanic. Yeah.
Dry lube.
It increases productivity. Yeah. Can't have it in the Olympics because it's a performance-enhancing lubricant.
Yep.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Damn. Bolivian marching powder. Yeah. All right, that's it. Anybody got anything? Nothing. Fuck it. Ride fast and take chances.
Bum, 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 bum.